back at it now and just think about how grateful I am for all the lessons in wins and the losses, because it really ends up defining who you are as a person and as a player.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Track.
Game against LA. And the Oilers' penalty or goals against has dwindled down to 3.09 from 4 in the opening round of the playoffs after a solid performance against the Vegas Golden Knights. The Dallas Stars have a negative goal differential. Edmonton, by the way, is +8 through the first 2 rounds. The Dallas Stars come in with a -4 goal differential, but they knocked off first the Colorado Avalanche 4-3, and then the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. The Stars are very good on home ice, 6-1, and Jake Ottinger, tonight's starter, is 15-2 in the last 17 games at home. They're going to go with Harley and Heiskanen, Lindell, and Ceci, and Bichelle and Lyubushkin as their pairings. The Oilers, by the way, as I mentioned, Kulak and Bouchard, Nurse and Stetcher, Wallman and Klingberg. The Stars' top line is Rope Hintz with Granlund and Rantanen. And I want to mention to you at this time, speaking of Evan Bouchard, he was fantastic in round number 2 against Vegas. 5 assists +7. He's leading the Oilers in time on ice at 26-24, and he had this to say on elevating his game once again during the playoffs.
A hard void to fill, but everybody's kind of got to step up in their own way. You know, whether that's give up something offensively to play better defense, all of those kinds of things. But yeah, I think for me it's kind of just focusing on my game, elevate my game as we keep getting further.
There is 18 minutes to the face-off. You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Northern Lakes College has been providing opportunities to Alberta students for over 50 years. How are they different? Many of their programs are offered online to suit your busy lifestyle, so no need to quit your job or move away from home. Your classroom can be anywhere you want it to be. Attend classes online in real time with your peers or view recorded classes at your own pace. Learn where you live. Learn while you work. It's your choice. Online learning redefined. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Especially this time of year, that's what wins you hockey games, right? It hasn't really been our top guys for the most part in these playoffs. You know, it's been our depth that has won us games for the most part, and you know they've carried us and they've given us a chance to win every night. And again, you just need that at this time of year.
That is Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl has 2 overtime winners, had the assist on Kasperi. Kapanen's overtime winner to close out round 2 against Vegas. Kapanen became the 13th Oilers forward to have scored in the playoffs. The Oilers have 9 skaters with 3 or more goals. It hasn't just been the Connor and Leon show. We go to Legacy Heating and Cooling's Who's Hot and Who's Not. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no interest, no payments for 1 year. Well, Mikko Rantanen, 19 points in 13 games, +1. McDavid, 17 points in 11 playoff games, +7. Draisaitl, 16 points in 11 games, +8. Those are 3 of the top 5 playoff scores going right now. Out of Town Scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The Florida Panthers, after knocking off the Maple Leafs, winning Game 5 and Game 7 in Toronto, 6-1, walked right into Carolina last night and handed it to them pretty good. They are up 1-0 in that series. Game 2 in Carolina tomorrow. The Memorial Cup gets started on Friday. This is the same night as Game 2 of this series. And Medicine Hat, the WHL champion, takes on host Rimouski. The Tigers featuring Gavin McKenna, the consensus #1 pick, we think, for the 2026 draft. Very deep draft of Western Canadian players. Caden Lidstrom, the 4th overall pick in last year's draft, injured all year of the Columbus Blue Jackets pick. Back got a little bit nicked up during the course of the WHL final, but is expected to play at the Memorial Cup. That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. The London Knights, by the way, feature 2 Oilers prospects. Sam O'Reilly, 32nd overall pick. The Oilers traded into the first round. They gave up this year's first rounder to trade into the first round last year. Worked out because now, as a result of Edmonton ending up in the Final Four, the Oilers draft pick will be no higher than 29th. And the general consensus was Edmonton's pick. Actually, the Oilers, in theory, their pick wouldn't be any higher than 30th because whoever loses the Eastern Conference Final would have fewer points than Edmonton. Edmonton, if they got past Dallas, would have home ice advantage for the Stanley Cup Final. So the Oilers' pick will not be higher than 30th this year, and this year's draft not as deep as what was seen as last year's draft. So that ends up coming, kind of making sense for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go to the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal of the game. Health, dental, travel. We got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. So stay tuned following the game for that. Stuart Skinner's going to get the starting goal. He's coming off back-to-back shutouts, and he had this to say on having a gap, getting a few days off in between the start of round 3.
Yeah, obviously it's nice to get a little bit of a break in between series, just rest our minds, rest our body. But definitely deja vu. It's a great opportunity for us to come back here and do our thing. So yeah, we're obviously really excited to be here. We've been really enjoying ourselves and working really hard to prepare ourselves the best possible way for this series.
And the Dallas Stars are led by Mikko Rantanen, and it was a blockbuster trade. And Evander Kane was asked, what do the Oilers have to do to deal with Rantanen, who's a star player, big-time addition for Dallas?
Play big, powerful, and skilled. He's obviously a great player. He's a big body out there and a great set of hands. So, like any player, you want to play him hard. Whether that's Rantanen, whether that's Tyler Seguin or Cody Ceci, you want to play them hard. And at this time of the year, I think both teams understand that, and it's going to be a battle with everybody in their lineup and with everybody in our lineup. So, he's obviously had a great playoff, and hopefully we can play him hard.
There you go. That's Evander Kane. And Evander last year in this round played all 6 games, had 1 assist, went -3, played under 15 minutes a game. He was clearly compromised. You can see it. He's come back with a vengeance here in the playoffs. He's got 4 goals, 7 points in 10 games. He's a plus player. He's playing close to 17 minutes a game. And when he's on the ice, the Oilers have at 5-on-5, and this has never been a real strength of his. They've got a 64% expected goals for. So that means Edmonton's got the puck a lot in the opposition zone. When we come back on Rogers Game Night, Jack Michaels and Rob Brown will join us and give us their thoughts as we head into game number 1, Edmonton and Dallas, round 3, the conference final.
End of the Road Flooring Centers is not only Canadian owned and operated, but we've been your go-to flooring center since 1986. The reason is simple. We make your flooring project easier. Rather than a tiny sample, upload a photo of your room at endoftheroll.com and instantly see what your dream flooring looks like in your house. Thousands of styles just clicks away. End of the Roll Flooring Centers. We've been flooring Canadians for 4 decades. Visit endoftheroll.com.
12870 St. Albert Trail and now open at 580 Parsons Road Southwest.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHAD, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, back to American Airlines Center. This is Rogers Game Night, courtesy of Rogers, proud partner and fan of the Edmonton Oilers from the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. We bring aboard both Jack Michaels, who's going to call tonight's game and has all of this series, along with Rob Brown. Rob, we're going to give you the first word. What's your assessment on this matchup between Edmonton and Dallas?
Well, I think it's 2 very good hockey clubs that have gone through a tough set of series to get to where they're at right now for a rematch. I think I didn't have Dallas getting past Colorado.
Me neither.
They did. And then they went through a very good Winnipeg team And here they are, the last man standing in that division. So they've gone through probably the two toughest teams, I would think, in the NHL. They probably had the hardest road to get here. I think a lot of people talking about the depth of the Dallas Stars, and I would say this. I think on paper, up front, the 12 forwards, the Dallas Stars probably have better depth. But in the playoffs thus far, the Oilers' depth players have been better. The Dallas Stars have got some fantastic hockey players, but the Sagans, the Bens, the Marchments, go through the list. They have had very quiet playoffs where there's been a lot of noise in the Oilers' bottom six. So any advantage that the Dallas Stars would have had in their depth up front, I think, is negated simply because they have not played to the level that was expected. This has been a one-line team in the playoffs. And the one thing that we know, watching the Oilers play here in this last little while, you're not going to beat the Oilers with one line. The Dallas Stars' depth they have to wake up if they want to make this a series, because right now the Oilers' depth players have been fantastic.
It's always a giveaway when the other coach is talking about the opponent's depth nonstop. I mean, Pete DeBoer can't get through a press conference without bringing it up, and I think, Rob, it's indicative of a couple things. Number one, he respects the fact that Edmonton, that's been a strength in this playoff run, even compared to last year where we thought the Oilers were deeper. They've made strides in that, certainly from 2 years ago, and certainly from the Winnipeg series if you go back 4 years ago. And I also think he's also sending a message to his team 100%. As well. I mean, look, Matt Duchene, Rob, to your point, that's another guy that I'm sure was on your list. He's got 2 goals in 32 games as a Dallas Star, and one of them ended the Colorado series last year. So he has scored one big playoff goal in a Stars uniform. But to your point about the schedule, Rob, I wonder whether it's going to play out the exact same way. And here's what I mean by that. Think about last year. Edmonton's road was through an overmatched LA squad and an overachieving Vancouver team that was beat up and basically down to a third-string goaltender. And then look at what Dallas had to do just to play Edmonton in last year's Western Conference Final. Survive an absolute war with Vegas in the first round and then get past Colorado in a hard-fought 6-game series. Same thing this year, as you said, an absolute territorial slugfest in round 1, 7 games over Colorado, and then outlasting a Winnipeg team again with a Game 6 overtime clash.
So guys, if the focus has been on Edmonton's depth from Peter DeBoer, it's been on special teams for Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, and I think it's a small sample size. Rob, I'm not worried about it. What about you?
Not at all. This is the best power play over the last 5 years with the 2 best players. The one thing the Oilers haven't had a whole lot of is power plays. Both Vegas and LA did pretty good jobs of being disciplined. The Dallas Stars are going to have to be disciplined, or we'll see what we saw last year where the Oilers power play, special teams dominated Dallas. So
what do you think, Bob? I mean, 1 for 11, that's not much of a slump to me.
Yeah, I think a couple things. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned at the momentum that when you go 0 for 14 in the power play on the road. Yeah. But what I like, Jack, is yesterday I went back at Connor McDavid and brought up the advanced analytics of the power play numbers, which are pretty good, and said, look, based on the expected goals for in the power play, they'd be amongst the top teams in the league during the regular season. And Connor, he's like, no, the power play has to be better. Whereas he went after...
The players know.
He went after the guys saying the defense wasn't good enough. He took ownership and said, our power play has to be better. We weren't good enough in the series against Vegas.
Rob, I'll say this. Dallas has no chance if Jake Ottinger gets outplayed by Stuart Skinner again. No chance.
Yep, 100%. I think that is the advantage that Dallas has in this series. Ottinger is a world-class goaltender. In over an 82-game season, he will be the better of the 2 goaltenders just about every season. The thing is, Stuart Skinner doesn't have to be better than Ottinger over 82 games. He doesn't even have to be better than him in 7 games. He only has to be as good or better than him in 4. And we saw last year he's capable of doing that. So Ottinger is all-world. I think he's a guy that can steal a game in this series. He could probably steal 2. But the Edmonton Oilers, to me, are deeper on defense. And I believe they are deeper up front. And they've done what they've done so far in the playoffs. Beat 2 good teams. I think the LA Kings were a team that if they got through Edmonton, they could have gone all the way. They were that good. But they've got through 2 teams without having to have all-world Connor and Leon, and with having average actually, I don't even know if it's average, below average success on their special teams. Those things are going to get better, and it bodes well for the Oilers because everything else is clicking 5-on-5.
All right, Rob, other than that, very quickly, you got 30 seconds. Let's go to Ford Keys to the Game. Brought to you by Ford, the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. What do you got?
Well, I think when you're playing a world-class goaltender, you got to be in his face. And the Oilers did a really good job in the first two series of getting involved in the blue paint. So I think the Oilers have to do that. And the number two thing, when you're playing against a team that's struggling 5-on-5, as Dallas is, but dominating on the power play, stay disciplined. And that's one thing under Chris Knobloch. The Oilers have been a very, very good disciplined team. They need to do that in this series against the Dallas Stars.
That wraps up Rogers Game Night. More with Rob Brown and Brendan Escott during the end of the roll, first and second intermission. Brendan pinch hitting for Bryn Griffiths. Jack Michaels has the call up next. Game 1 Western Conference Final when we return on 40 Oilers NHL Hockey live from the American Airlines Center.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in Oil Country. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at the all-new Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Tired of skyrocketing energy bills? Switch to clean, affordable power with Horizon Solar. Whether you want to cut costs, go green, or increase your home's value, Horizon Solar has you covered with tailored solar energy solutions. With current government incentives, there's never been a better time to make the switch. Own your power, control your bills, live sustainably. For your free assessment, call Horizon Solar today or visit horizonsolar.com to get started. Horizon Solar, where going green makes sense.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in Oil Country. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. We stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of it all.
tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Shoots and scores! But now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
For the first time in more than a decade, we've got a rematch in the West Final. The Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars, who tangled last year. Dallas led 2-1, 2-0 in Game 4. The Oilers came storming back and closed it out with a Stuart Skinner virtuoso performance in Game 6, and he'll be the starting goaltender tonight as we are in Big T and the American Airlines Center alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels with a play-by-play of tonight's game on 880 CHED and around the Oilers Radio Network. Skinner in net, McDavid at center, flanked by Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, Bouchard and Kulak. Defensively, your starting lineup brought to you by Coventry Homes, and we're underway. It's Game 1 of this best of 7 West Final. The Oilers in the white outlined in orange and blue, and Dallas in the victory green, starting with a left wing wrist shot by Mikhail Granlund and a save made by goaltender Stuart Skinner, who outplayed the much more ballyhooed Jake Ottinger last year in the West Final. And Bob, you and I have been talking to the Dallas brass over the last 48 hours. They say the Stars have to do more up and down their lineup. Right now, it's that finish line that's been doing the whole scale production.
And they created a turnover in the opening shift of the game with an aggressive forecheck to start. This team uses a 2-1-2 in the neutral zone, and they got in on the forecheck right away on Edmonton.
Nugent Hopkins wins the face-off from Rope Hintz. Hintz flanked by Mikko Rantanen, the leading scorer in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Mikhail Granlund. Defensively, they started with Heiskanen and Lindell. Now Harley's out there as a wrist shot comes across the line. It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and it's tipped harmlessly into the corner. Dallas, an attempted clear settled by Bouchard. It did exit the zone, and we will have an offside whistled against Edmonton. Veteran referees, Wes McCauley, Francis Chiron. You'll get the best in the Final Four of the West Final with linesman Trent Knorr and Scott Cherry. Dallas's road here, a 7-game series win over Colorado, followed by 6 games against Winnipeg. Edmonton rallied from 2-0 down to beat LA in 6, and then dispatched Vegas in a 5-game series. This would be much closer, I think you'd agree with me, Bob, than the 5-game length would suggest.
100%.
Connor Brown winning a face-off from Sam Steele in the neutral zone. It's rifled in by Troy Stecher. Identical lineup for Edmonton that dressed against Vegas in Game 5 when, of course, Kasperi Kapanen ended the series with an overtime winner. Played off the window and out by Ilya Lyubushkin, and that'll be another O-zone draw as this opening minute has been marked by a number of whistles. The Oilers an offensive zone face-off coming up. We remind you that your starting lineup brought to you by Coventry Homes. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. And Bob and I, high up, very high up in cavernous American Airlines Center in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth.
Oilers need to be aware, high up, Dallas likes to extend the ice and hit stretch passes to their forwards, cheat a little bit for offense.
Draisaitl wins the face-off. The former star John Klingberg, who of course broke in with the Stars. His shot sails wide, and likewise Jake Wallman just put it down low. Draisaitl playing with Kapanen and Podkolzin tonight. It's Draisaitl behind the net, 4th leading scorer in the playoffs. Out to Wallman, right point shot sent wide by Klingberg, clattered off the boards, held in by Draisaitl, and whipped around to Klingberg one more time in the high slot. Kapanen put it back down low for Draisaitl, taken away by Matt Duchene, who's been struggling offensively in this postseason, as has Jason Robertson, who does not clear. Kapanen knocked it down, a shot by Draisaitl, kicked aside by Ottinger, and it's twirled the other way by Duchene. Ottinger comes in having lost 6 consecutive games at home in Game 1 of a series. He's lost 6 straight here. Dallas 7 straight as a team on home ice in Game 1 of a playoff series. Spilled in by Connor Brown. The Stars back in their own end. Evander Kane, an aggressive forecheck. He'll play on a line tonight with Henrique and Connor Brown. A lead pass, Jamie Benn to Donoff. Out of his Oilers reach, and Stuart Skinner will pull it into his chest with 2 1/4 gone by in this scoreless first period. Very much a feeling out process thus far, and some pushing and shoving. This is where, Bob, I feel Edmonton has a decided advantage. More guys in their lineup that are accustomed to hitting. We know that everyone hits in the playoffs. The Oilers have more guys, I think, than at any time in our history together that are capable of doing it and are used to doing it.
2 massive additions to that they didn't have all year.
Kane and Frederick.
Kane and Frederick. Though it should be stated, we have not seen Frederick's line on the ice yet here. D-zone draw for Henrique.
Clean face-off win for Roope Hintz. Here's Heiskanen, who just came back during the Winnipeg series, missed the final 32 games of the regular season and the entire Colorado series. Sharp angle shot taken by Thomas Harley, who ended the Winnipeg series with an OT winner. That was repelled by Skinner, comes back to Harley, and down low left corner. Harley 1 point behind Bouchard in the defense scoring race in this postseason. Darnell Nurse backhands it down the ice. This will be an icing call with just about 3 minutes gone in our scoreless first period. Edmonton and Dallas, in addition to that 6-game playoff series, also played, of course, 3 times during the regular season. Dallas winning 2 of 3.
Of course, the last game, Oilers lost 4-3. They didn't have McDavid or Draisaitl. Rallied from 4-0 down, outshot Dallas 44-24.
Yeah, furious third period rally. They were down 4-0 in the third period.
Right.
And it was funny because the prior game, Bob, it was Edmonton who led 5-1 and had to hang on for a 5-4 win. Here's Evander Kane off the rush left wing. A shot deflected wide. Tyler Seguin able to scoop it up, kick it back to Harley. The outlet pass to Seguin. He'll backhand it in deep. Stars move in right to left. Mason Marchment behind the net. That comes free on the half boards. Bob called for that fourth line, and indeed they're out as it's sent in deep by Trent Frederick. Playing with Janmark and Perry tonight. The puck knifed free over to Sam Steele out of Sherwood Park. He scored a big goal in Game 6 to tie Winnipeg, and that allowed, of course, Harley to win it in OT. Flipped back through the middle by Edmonton, settled by recently turned 21-year-old Liam Bischel. Up the right-hand side and shoved in by Mikhail Granlund. A centering pass intercepted by McDavid, and here come the Oilers in transition. Frederick hits McDavid on the fly through 1 man. Rich shot denied by Ottinger. Rebound! Zach Hyman unable to finish. Breathtaking maneuvers by McDavid to create that chance. And now up top, played down low to Nugent Hopkins. Ottinger came up with the goods, and now that puck hit the glass on its way out of play, so no delay of game. Connor McDavid just undressed Esa Lindell, one of the more underrated defensemen in the league.
Arguably their best two-way defenseman. I mean, they got Heiskanen and Harley. Those guys got tremendous offensive abilities.
Lindell whiffs here, Bob.
Yeah,
just whiffed.
Well, Connor was going, but the Oilers, since putting Stetcher with Nurse, the Oilers' transition game's been way better. They've got the same 3 pairings together. Those guys move the puck, and the Oilers are getting the puck up in a hurry. Dallas is putting in soft chips and soft dumps, and Edmonton's quickly transitioning back the other way.
4 minutes gone by, scoreless in the first. McDavid an offensive zone face-off to Jake Ottinger's left-hand side. Ottinger 31-27 lifetime in the playoffs. Stuart Skinner 21-18, and of course closed out Vegas with back-to-back clean sheets. Harley up the right-hand side looking for Duchesne, and that was well defended on the blue line by Jake Wallman. Wallman and Klingberg, Kulak and Bouchard, and of course Nurse and Stetcher, the 3 pairings that Bob's alluding to. Here's Hyman walking in, centering, and a backhander by Wallman, repelled by Ottinger, and the rebound waved out to center. Edmonton's had the 2 best scoring chances thus far tonight. McDavid dialing it back up, looking for a pass from Hyman. Instead, it's Nugent Hopkins with a shot that's steered to the corner by Ottinger. Heiskanen lays a body check on McDavid in the far corner, and the 2 grapple for puck possession. Harley giving Hyman the business. Finally, the puck shaken free and carried back to center. Using his body to protect the puck is the veteran Matt Duchesne. Off to Wyatt Johnston. Wrist shot fought off by Skinner with a glove hand, and then he got a piece of Duchesne's rebound attempt. McDavid a bit of a drive-by on the puck. The turnover. The shot by Jason Robertson, and that was deflected wide. Robertson has just 1 assist in 6 playoff games. He missed the first-round series against Colorado as well. Played all 82 regular season games, got hurt in the final game. Klingberg tossed it back up the middle. That was nearly turned over, but recovered by Nugent Hopkins. He's got Hyman with him. Gives it to Zach Hyman. Heading for the net. Centering and tipped on by Nugent Hopkins, but a save made by Ottinger. Rebound held in by Darnell Nurse and regained. Hyman across to Leon Draisaitl. Surveys the interior. Nothing's there. Finally decided to hit Podkolzin, but it was picked off by Wyatt Johnston and cleared by Lindell. Lead pass Draisaitl. Carries it back into the offensive zone. Quickly laid ahead to Kapanen by Podkolzin. In the right half wall, Draisaitl is completely smothered. A hard hit, and he came back with an aggressive check on Dallas captain Jamie Benn. Held in by Evan Bouchard and played down low. Bouchard had a shot in Game 1 last year of the West Final, tipped home by Connor McDavid, and that was in overtime after McDavid had taken a penalty that threatened to give Dallas an opportunity to win Game 1. Icing is initially waved off and then called, overruled there, and it will be called against the Dallas Stars, so this is an offensive zone face-off for Edmonton, 6 minutes into our scoreless first period.
Well, there's been chances both ways here. We're going to... Certainly, the Oilers a little bit guilty, and Stuart Skinner was able to fight one off, and nearly a bang-bang play for Duchesne down low. The Oilers, turnabout's fair play. They had an opportunity off a rebound as well.
Oscar Beck reinserted into the lineup. Dallas dressed 11-7 for much of that Winnipeg series, going back to a standard 12-forward 6 defense look tonight. Lead pass Stuart Skinner up the right-hand side to Connor Brown. Game 2 will be played Friday night back here at American Airlines Center, where 18,532, seeing if Dallas can gain revenge. Mason Marchment carries it up the left-hand side. He'll wind it around. Stepping up is Ilya Lyubushkin. Stay-at-home defenseman plays it down low for Steele. Now Marchment inside. One touch down low and a save made. Skinner got a piece and it might have kissed the goalposts. Sam Steele, point blank, almost scoring in back-to-back playoff games. Edmonton able to clear back through center. I thought Skinner got a piece at live speed, but Bob, I'm not sure that didn't graze the goalpost as well. Kulak will kick it back and a reset for Edmonton after good pressure from Dallas. Troy Stetcher ducks around a hit from Rope Hintz. Turned over at center, however. Granlund on the attack. Drop pass Hintz. Left corner for Granlund. Checked by Stetcher. Granlund gets down low. Kicks it out. Looking for a shot as Lindell redirected high slot. Hintz couldn't get it on net. Granlund his best season in 7 years. Give and go with Renton. And back in front of Sam Skinner. And a penalty coming against the Edmonton Oilers for hooking. Dallas got the matchup it wanted, Bob, and took advantage. Top line against fourth line.
Oilers turned the puck over, had a stationary breakout, and the pairing, they don't often play together. They turned the puck over, and that was Stetcher and Kulak. And Dallas has the extra man when we come back.
Kulak to the box for hooking. The time of the penalty, 7:24. The place, the American Airlines Center. The setting, the Western Conference Final. The station, 880 CHED and the Oilers Radio Network. We're coming right back with more live first period play-by-play. This is Ford Dealers, NHL Hockey, and the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Hey, Edmonton. Ever think about who gets your hard-earned money when you buy groceries or gas? For all you know, it could be buying a second yacht or private jet. But at Co-op, they put it right back into the community. That's because they're owned by 120,000 everyday Edmontonians, not a corporation. Feel good about where your money goes when you shop Co-op. Visit in-store for details.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't dig past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with flexibility. by Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Dallas Stars power play, and they've scored a power play goal in all 7 of their home playoff games, 41% at home. Oilers penalty kill, struggle early, has been better, and here's a clear. Nugent Hopkins, shorthanded, a wrist shot off the rush, and a blocker save made by Ottinger. Bob, I'm not sure Nugent Hopkins recognized he might have had a little bit more time there. He takes another stride or two, but instead, he and Adam Henrique combined for a clear down the right-hand side, so it all works out. Dallas power play must regroup. Edmonton on the penalty kill in the postseason, a shade under 67%. Hintz down the slot, forked away by Janmark against Hintz, and now Darnell Nurse with a leisurely clear up the left-hand side. And thus far, Dallas has been unable to get set up on this power play. Stars have outshot the Oilers 6-5 in the early going. McDavid on for the penalty kill. Out there was Zach Hyman. Something extra for Dallas to think about. Jason Robertson back to the right-hand side. McDavid did not kill during the regular season. Swooping in and putting pressure and forcing a turnover by Granlund. That allows Hyman to race over, make a play on the puck, and eventually wrist it down deep. Ottinger takes a peek. Didn't recognize that Hyman was right on top of him and was fortunate to slip a pass through to Marchment. Carried up the right-hand side by Sagan. The struggling Robertson is dumped to the ice by Nurse, and another 200-foot clear chases Dallas back. The power play dwindling down to 30 seconds. Penalty kill brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. We're live in Dallas. The Stars can't get in cleanly again. This time pressure up top from Connor Brown and Janmark. Jamie Benn, the Dallas captain, calls himself jokingly a checker now, and he turned it over. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Brown and Janmark. Brown to the net and batted wide. Brown had the angle and inexplicably still tried to push it across. There seemed to be a shot there. Here's Hintz to Jamie Benn. Back the other way. Shoveled in front. Rantanen. A shot, and that went off the post. Rebound. Rantanen in front. Deflected away by Kulak, who had just come onto the ice. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Rantanen just hit the goalpost. And now it's McDavid, fresh off the successful kill. He's got Draisaitl on his right, but couldn't get the puck to him. And Dallas forces it back to the Edmonton blue line. Connor Brown, when he got to the middle.
He's got to shoot the puck.
They were given in the middle, and they did. And instead, he tried to make a difficult pass to Janmark. Here's Klingberg barreling down the right-hand side. Kicks it out to Nurse. Across to McDavid in the high slot. Now it's Draisaitl hovering top of the right circle and now forced up top near the blue line. Held in by Draisaitl. McDavid off balance. Nearly fell. Got it to Nurse. Draisaitl back on the puck. He'll take it hard to the net and score! Leon Draisaitl with a wrist shot just inside the left goal post. And Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead in Game 1 of the West Final.
Well, Dallas is going to look to see whether or not the Oilers were able to skirt the line and keep the puck inside the zone. Elite level finish from Leon Draisaitl. That is basically like a weave in basketball, Jack. And the thing is, the Oilers have 2 of the best players in the world on the ice, and they help connect. And Draisaitl with an absolute rip job, and Edmonton with a 1-0 lead.
Draisaitl with his 6th of the postseason, set up by Darnell Nurse. Of course, he was the overtime hero in Game 2, but otherwise, neither he nor McDavid tore the roof off the place in that second-round win over Vegas. It was a depth type of victory. Well, Draisaitl announces his presence in the West Final. And the Oilers have taken a 1-0 lead here in Game 1. Lead pass to Kasperi Kapanen. He'll knock it in deep. Nurse and McDavid with the assist on the even strength goal for Leon Draisaitl, as once again Edmonton exerting itself 5-on-5. Puck flipped out of play in the Dallas bench area. We'll take timeout. 9:23 to go in the first period. Leon Draisaitl with the first goal of the West Final. His 6th from Nurse and McDavid. It's the difference halfway through the first period at American Airlines Center on the Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors,
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. We got a delivery today, Insiders. Let's go. It's here. Finally, the plaque is here. Oh, yes. I can't wait. Be on the lookout. We will be posting our unboxing video of the plaque in the next couple of days. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on Toronto Sports Insider for the Oilers and the Stars Western Conference Final rematch. Game number 1 from Dallas. Come on, Oilers. Let's go, Canada. I want to see this chat fired up tonight, cheering on our Oilers loud. We've got to get behind them. We've got to cheer on Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the rest of the Oilers because we need Canada to bring that cup home. Oilers, you're our last shot. Thanks for being here. Please hit that like button. Share this link out. Let's bring more hockey fans here to the chat, hanging out with us. As well, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. We are on our way. We just got that plaque, but we're not stopping. We are on our way to 1 million. At least that's what the letter said. Let's go. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team. Go Oilers, go.
And
That's pretty good.
That was backed up last year in the West Final when the Oilers won Game 1 in this building.
That's 88%, Jack.
Here's Draisaitl. Look at you showing off the math skills.
Well, 8 out of 9 is, 88.8, so I like my chances.
Well, you were in university for about 8 years,
yes.
So it figures you'd learn something. Here's Kulak down low. Back down and played out to Bouchard in the high slot. Draisaitl looking for Podkolzin, snuck past Corey Perry, and now Sam Steele, who had a glorious chance early in this game, kicked it back to Asa Lindell. Then Rantanen hit the post, and when the Oilers went low to high, Draisaitl was able to cash in. Turnover by Stuart Skinner handling the puck, and Sam Steele tried to thread one through and could not get it to Mason Marchment, and now we've got Marchment jawing a little bit with Leon Draisaitl, and that's not necessarily Stuart Skinner's strength, handling the puck.
But again, they love to fly that man high, right? The Oilers have to be aware that they're looking to chip pucks and catch forwards moving up the ice. Remember the goal Dadonov scored here last year in game number 1. Edmonton got caught. Right, it's a long stretch or a deflection to a stretch, and the forward skates in it. Something Edmonton's got to be aware of.
Hintz digging in for the faceoff. Dadonov is another of those Dallas 20-goal forwards that needs to get going. He's only got one in the postseason at his 5th 20-goal season this year. Here's Frederick. The Oilers attacking. A shot by Klingberg from the right circle is swallowed up. Good defensive play by Granlund, but then he gave it away. Frederick forced it off his stick. Here's a shot by Jake Wallman, and that was tipped over the plexi and out of play with 8.5 to go in the first period. Again, Leon Draisaitl, with his 6th of the playoffs, has made it 1-0 Edmonton.
I think Kapanen's got to shoot. Said he passed off, and definitely on the 2-on-1. Connor Brown, they were giving him the shot all day, and he forced the pass across the Janmark, and that was a short-handed one. Don't forget Edmonton last year in the playoffs. Dallas went 0 for 14 on the power play, but Edmonton scored short-handed in that. They actually outscored Dallas. Dallas outscored Edmonton 14-12 at even strength in the series.
But 5-0 on special teams for Edmonton. 4 power play goals and the short-handed goal. McDavid kicked it back to Kulak across to Bouchard. Dallas has been outscored in every period this postseason, and Hyman just ripped one off the goalpost. What a feed from McDavid, and it's Hyman's turn to draw iron. He had Ottinger beaten cleanly. Mikko Rantanen charging up the right-hand side. Quick release from Hyman, who's back on the puck and has it swatted away by Haskin. And Hyman has had a history of success in game 1s. He's got 11 goals in 10 career series openers. Or at least his last 10, I should say. Played by Nugent Hopkins. Back inside his own blue line to Kulak, and then Nugent Hopkins threw it across to Bouchard. He'll shoot it in from center. Henrique couldn't get there. Dadonov will. Left wing for Jamie Benn. Here comes the Dallas captain. A shot and a glove save made by Stuart Skinner with 7.5 to go in the first period. Poised as can be, Stuart Skinner in net for Edmonton. Came in off the back-to-back bagels of Vegas, and of course outplayed Jake Ottinger last year. Bob, his save percentage in the series, .922, a solid 0.2 better than Jake Ottinger, the more heralded goalie.
They had Ottinger beat high. Did Zach Hyman, who by the way has 33 goals for the Oilers in 4 years in the playoffs. That is more than any of the Maple Leafs core four have in their playoff career.
One-timer ripped by Heiskanen, a blocker save made by Skinner. Bob, Toronto's been eliminated. No need to rub salt.
I'm just saying that's how good Hyman's been for Edmonton. He's got 33 goals in the playoffs in the last 4 playoff seasons. That's pretty good.
Are you trying to say you're not trying to rub salt? Are you actually going to say that with a straight face?
It would be beneath me to do that.
Here's Oscar Beck lining up for an offensive zone faceoff. He'll do so against Adam Henrique.
I feel bad for the fans in Toronto.
Oilers lead the Stars 1-0.
But we're focused on this one. I'm just saying Hyman's been a pretty good free agent signing for Edmonton.
Beck thrown out of the circle, replaced by Jamie Benn, who won the draw. Back, Dadonov, a shot that sailed high. Rebound off the Dashers, held in by Heiskanen, right point. Back down low, beyond the reach of Benn. Oilers in a fierce puck battle on the half wall. Connor Brown could not get it out. Held in by Benn and slapped along by Beck. Darnell Nurse borrowing inside, trying to clear past Heiskanen, who succeeds in holding the zone for Benn. Up top, Harley, a shot, and that was elevated up and out of play. I believe Brown got the shot block with 6:58 to go in this first period. The Oilers lead it 1-0 on an even strength goal by Leon Draisaitl.
Well, Benn's a very good face-off man. He was in the regular season. He was over 55%. He's only at 44% right now. The Stars, 7th in the league at 50.8.
He's always been tough on the Oilers, right. Jamie Benn.
And the Oilers are 9th at 50.4. And I thought last year Dallas had a face-off advantage against Edmonton coming into the series. So it's something to watch here for.
Ben led the Stars with 7 points in last year's 6-game series. And over the course of his career, he's got 26 goals in 52 games against Edmonton. Heiskanen off the draw, able to keep it down low for Matt Duchene, who does not have a goal yet in the Stanley Cup playoffs. A clear up the right-hand side by Klingberg, back to the Dallas line. Heiskanen charges back to the red, misfires on a pass intended for Wyatt Johnston, who has just been a brilliant addition to this Dallas lineup. Leon Draisaitl driving in left wing. That shot forced wide by Ottinger. Rebound played back to Evan Bouchard. Tried to shovel it down low. Johnston choked that off and forced it back to center. Kapanen waiting for it for Edmonton, and the Oilers on a regroup in their own end. Kulak building speed up through center. He'll shovel it in from the red line. Taking a peek behind him, Lindell got run off the puck by Podkolzin. Sam Steele for the Stars could not get it through Kasperi Kapanen. The official got in the mix, and finally it squirted free for Harley. The outlet to Mason Marchment. Another of those 20-goal scorers that has just one in the postseason. Steele will dump it in behind Bouchard. Kulak comes over to play the puck up to Nugent Hopkins, and it exits the zone. Coming up on 5.5 minutes left, and with McDavid pressuring, that puck sails all the way toward Ottinger, and he elects to freeze it with 5:37 to go. They're not going to take a break here because that puck was initially released from beyond the red line. So when the goaltender freezes the puck, you got to deal with a D-zone draw.
Seguin to take a face-off here. He's a righty. He's at 51.6% in the face-off circle.
Seguin won a cup in his rookie year with the Boston Bruins, has been chasing it ever since. Kind of Dallas's equivalent of Corey Perry, who won it early in his career back in 2007. Here's McDavid, jitterbugging, wrapping it around, and a save made by Ottinger. Rebound, Stetcher threw it across to Darnell Nurse. Left point shot, kicked, loose, available, grabbed by the Oilers, out to Stetcher, and across to Nurse, who took the initial shot. Ottinger was fortunate that neither McDavid nor Hyman could shovel that home. Here's McDavid dishing one-timer, and Stetcher didn't get all he wanted on that shot. A save made by Ottinger. Up top, Nurse on his backhand. Cuts to his right, then dishes back to his left. Stetcher fires and a save made. Ottinger didn't have a stick. Finally recovers it. It was laying across the goal. And an icing call will be whistled against Dallas, so the Stars are going to have to bring back that tired unit who had been out there and pinned in their own end by a determined effort from Edmonton. And perhaps sensing an opportunity here, Chris Knobloch is going to get Draisaitl, Kane, and Perry out.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of movement already at the lines here.
Well, and we've seen that with Chris Knobloch. He's and regardless of score, I mean, obviously Edmonton's off to a decent start in this game, having outshot Dallas 12-8, and Draisaitl scoring the series' first goal. He wins the faceoff back to Wallman. The pressure ratcheted up, but Draisaitl was stripped. Then it's a breakaway for Tyler Seguin. Right to left, shoots and scores. Tie game.
How's that not a hook? That's one where the officials decide not to make a call, and it ends up in Dallas getting a breakaway. Leon Draisaitl gets hooked under control with the puck, and Seguin gets a free breakaway out of it as the Oilers are working the cycle. Sorry, and maybe it's a call that doesn't get made in the playoffs, but Leon had the puck. Now, tough non-call. The Oilers didn't protest it too much. Seguin capitalizes tie game.
Sagan's third of the postseason, unassisted at 15-22. Beating Skinner underneath the glove. Dallas dumps it in. Game one is tied at 1. And this crowd right back in the game. A centering pass picked off in front of the Edmonton net by Jake Wallman. Corralled by Klingberg. Chipped up the right-hand side, and now you've got a chance. Henrique trying to center. That was stolen away and cleared back up ice by Rope Hintz, and an icing call will be whistled against Dallas. There won't be a break here. This is an icing call, I believe. Or did that puck hop out of play?
It popped out of play.
Yeah, it hopped out of play. So it nicked the glass and sailed out of play. So the Oilers turn it over, and Seguin capitalizes on a breakaway. Game one of the West Final, tied at 1. Draisaitl for Edmonton, Seguin for Dallas. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Tide tie things up in Tofield. Unbelievable! Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even watch Stewart steal the show while you're in Sedalia. Try saying that 3 times.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, what time it is, wherever you're watching from all over the world. Now that we have your attention, please help us continue to grow this amazing community. We are over 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and we want to keep climbing all the way up to 250, all the way up to 1 million. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button and helping us grow this awesome community. Don't forget to turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single game of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals for both the NBA and the NHL as part of our Playoff Pulse campaign.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Joe Bowen here, voice of the Leafs. Holy Mackinac, we've passed 100,000 insiders on Toronto Sports Insider. The Playoff Pulse campaign is unstoppable. Let's aim even higher. Subscribe now and join this amazing community making a difference. Together, we're showing SickKids the power of sports fans worldwide. Let's keep growing this global community.
Hey you, yeah you, Easton Cowan, Leafs prospect here. I'm loving these Playoff Pulse live hangouts. Subscribe and turn on the bell to catch every game. Keep the chat buzzing and let's cheer for SickKids together. See you in the chat.
Breakaway after Draisaitl fell, and he scores.
Upon further review, Jack, that's not a penalty. There was a little bit of a touch, but Klingberg got caught a little bit inside in support there. Henrique's broken a stick here.
Boy, you've mellowed.
Yeah, well, I can't, I'm not, like, my initial reaction is when he loses control of the puck like that, you think there's a reach in. It was a marginal stick, and the Oilers didn't protest at all. Marchment was giving it to Draisaitl after the turnover on the goal, but I don't think that's a penalty upon further review.
And certainly chirping another player is not a penalty.
No.
Here's a shot by Kane, sharp angle, and a save made by Ottinger.
It's gamesmanship.
Chipped out to Rope Hintz, cleared back to center and fired back in by Darnell Nurse. 4 minutes to go first period. We are tied at 1. Draisaitl opened the scoring and Sagan tied it. Here's Mikko Rantanen, like Hyman, hit a goal post earlier in this first period. Granlund freed the puck up along the end boards for Rantanen, and then when he tried to give it back to Harley, it was intercepted by Evander Kane. Harley played it well at the blue line, and Edmonton has to tag back up onside. As they do that, Rantanen finds Harley, went right around Klingberg, and then Kapanen came over to seal him off the puck. Jamie Benn tried to give it back to Harley, but the puck was in his feet. And here comes Leon Draisaitl streaking up ice with Podkolzin. He beats one man, tried to nudge it, got it back from Podkolzin. Wallman across, shot, and a save made by goaltender Jake Ottinger. Klingberg fed Wallman, and Ottinger came up with a save. Jake Ottinger just continues to churn out 130-win season after another. He's 8-5 in this postseason. He's played almost all the minutes. Casey DeSmith mop-up duty in Game 4 of the Colorado series, but he's played to a save percentage of .919. The problem for Ottinger, as we talked about, is he has not been successful in Game 1s at home. Stuart Skinner's only victory in a road Game 1 was in this building last year.
And he was good. You win an overtime game against Jake Ottinger, you got to be good. Double overtime, including a huge 4-minute kill from Edmonton to start the first overtime period.
On a McDavid double minor. Skinner was brilliant in Game 6 when Edmonton sealed the series despite just 10 shots on net. That was last year. This is this year. Shot off the draw, taken by John Klingberg, sailed wide into the corner, and then a big hit by Hyman. He leveled Matt Duchene. Wallman dug it off the half wall, but Nugent Hopkins could not hold the zone, and Edmonton has to fall back to center. Fired back in by Klingberg, who, of course, was part of the Dallas club that went all the way to the 2020 Stanley Cup Final.
Checking a skate here on Zach Hyman, Jack.
Here's Duchene driving in from the right-hand side. He got belted in the corner by Wallman. Jason Robertson scored 35 goals during the regular season. Johnston in front, and his shot was deflected away. If that gets through, maybe it's Dallas 2, Edmonton 1, but it didn't. Here's Corey Perry. He was also on that Dallas team that went to the Stanley Cup Final 5 years ago. Janmark was hit hard and lost possession, and the Stars force it back to the Edmonton blue line as we come up on 2 minutes to play in the first period of Game 1 of this best-of-7 Western Conference Final. Florida took Game 1 of the East Final yesterday in Raleigh, North Carolina. Cody Ceci played the last 3 years for the Oilers. Here, on a dump-in, he was belted, turned it over. Corey Perry tried a shot that was deflected off the side of the net, came in front, and Perry couldn't get there. Instead, it's snared and cleared by Sam Steele. Bouchard will settle it down at his own blue line and kick it over to Brett Kulak up the right-hand side, twisted in deep by Janmark, recovered by Thomas Harley behind his own net for Dallas. The outlet pass fumbled away by Marchment. Coming over to make a play on it is Stetcher. He'll trade it with Darnell Nurse and get it back. With 1:20 remaining, he tries the right-hand side for Kapanen. The pass broken up. Harley off the turnover. Had it stripped from behind by Leon Draisaitl. A terrific defensive play. He locates Podkolzin against Heiskanen. Gives it up. Nurse's shot. A high riser that sailed off the plexiglass. Draisaitl stuffed it inside. Podkolzin couldn't get a shot away. Here comes Granlund. The other way for Dallas, right to left. Spilled in by Rantanen with under a minute to go in this first period. Big, heavy forecheck laid on Rope Hintz, who tried to keep the puck alive in the high slot. Couldn't do it. Podkolzin out to Kapanen, and with but Draisaitl already in the zone. He's got a tag back onside, shovels it down low. Everyone changes for Edmonton for the final 40 seconds. Evander Kane determined to put the pressure on Ceci, and he forces a giveaway. Ceci a turnover. Kane tried to go cross ice and had it tipped out of play. Kane had a shot available, Bob. He tried the extra feed to Adam Henrique, and it was deflected into the crowd, and Cody Ceci just got bailed out.
Yep.
Well, that's why we bring you in, bud.
Yep. I mean, you got to shoot the puck. They got to shoot the puck.
Face off right side of Jake Ottinger. Oilers won. Stars won. Adam Henrique to take the face off, flanked by Kane and Brown. Wallman and Klingberg, your D pairing for the final half minute. Shots are now 11-10 in favor of Edmonton. Shot clock's been adjusted a few times. One-timer by Kane off the draw, and Ottinger swept that out of play against Evander Kane, who has 23 goals in his 56-game Edmonton playoff career. You were talking about Hyman. Kane is right there in terms of the production. Now, he was shaken up. He was one of the guys that was not healthy in the Dallas series.
Yeah, did not have a point in the 6 games, went -3. Completely different player right now. And think about that. He's got 23 goals. He doesn't spend any time on the first unit power play, and he's got 23 goals in 56 games. It's pretty good.
Face-off win for Oscar Beck. Stars look up ice, forced up the middle, booted by Henrique back to Klingberg, and let's see how Edmonton elects to play the final 15 seconds. Klingberg right-hand side for Connor Brown. They'll give him center ice as he shovels it in. Lindell settles it down and then lobs it back through the middle. A bouncing puck eludes Jamie Benn, tap back to center, and the period will end without further incident. And the Edmonton Oilers and Dallas Stars, as one may have predicted, find themselves tied at 1 after 1. Draisaitl opening the scoring as he rolled toward the net and beat Jake Ottinger inside the left goal post. And then Tyler Seguin, off a turnover by Draisaitl, went length of the ice and beat Stuart Skinner underneath the glove on a breakaway. So we've got a 1-1 tie, and we'll be shortly joined by Adam Henrique, a veteran who, like so many players on both sides, Bob, at the point of his career where the regular season means very little, it's all about this time of year, and we've certainly seen his play elevate over the last month and a half.
Yeah, there's no question. He's been a guy that's been able to really step up and had the huge performance with a couple of goals coming through for the Edmonton Oilers in a third-line role. Great job in the PK as well.
Rico, thanks for joining us after 20 minutes. One of the things I thought, and I wanted your thoughts on this, is Edmonton has not been great coming out of the gate after, some layovers this year. I think back to Four Nations, the end of the regular season. Was that a focus of your team preparing for this series against Dallas to make sure you started on time?
Yeah, absolutely. We had about a week off, and you want those rest days this time of year, but at the same time, when you're going, you want that momentum to be able to carry it over. So I think that's just a matter of the couple days before, making sure we have good high-tempo practices, and then just make sure we're mentally locked in before tonight.
Well, speaking of locked in, they got a really good power play. That was a great first PK for you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Again, another focus. That first one, the last couple rounds, hasn't been there, but tonight it was, and again, another key focus for us tonight.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
That's Adam Henrique, another guy that you gotta look at, a guy who was in the 2012 Stanley Cup final. He waits 12 years for another chance, and he was telling me this morning, he goes, look, I'll be honest, we've all been waiting for this time of year. It's hard to get up for game 50, game 60. This is the time of year you want to be ready.
I thought Edmonton was the better team in the first period, Jack. I mean, Dallas got a power play. They didn't make much happen. And really, it was a broken play that Dallas got their goal on. And Leon Draisaitl trying to work his way through two players on a ozone cycle. And Klingberg got caught activating down a little bit low. And Wallman wasn't across enough. And Tyler Seguin can skate, and suddenly it just puck went to the right place.
Floodgates opened.
But the thing about Dallas is they are quick strike on transition. We know that about Dallas. They're one of the best transition. That's a broken transition play. That's not a play out of a breakout from Dallas. That's a puck turned over. Just a confluence of events that gave them the break. The goal that Draisaitl scored was a fantastic goal off an ozone cycle. And Edmonton, by my count, the A-grade scoring opportunities in the first period were 6-3 for the Oilers.
Right. Rantanen hit a goal post. Hyman hit a post at the other end. And the one missed opportunity that was available was the 2-on-1, where Connor Brown looked like a shot was available. At the very least, you get a rebound chance for Yanmark.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Oilers haven't had a power play to work with, but Dallas didn't really put themselves. They know how good Edmonton's power play is. Well, the one thing is their games have tended to be a little bit more penalized than some of the games Edmonton's been in. The Oilers, again, fans know the numbers. For 10 straight games until Game 5 against Vegas. That was the first game, the 11th playoff game the Oilers played, where they had more power plays than the opposition.
And they had two.
It's not like they've had a lot to work with. So
that's why I wasn't worried really about the special teams coming into this series, because the sample size has been so small. As Rob Brown pointed out, both teams average taking 2 penalties a game.
And here's the other thing. If you're into these sort of things, the advanced analytics would suggest that the Oilers probably should have a couple more. They're 6 for 10 at home, 0 for 14 on the road on the power play. So they're 6 for 24 overall. They probably should have 2 more. Well, if they're 8 for 24, they're at 33% instead of 25. And the net power play for Edmonton and Dallas is roughly the same at 25%. As Dallas has given up a couple shorties and almost gave up another one.
So, with all that said, the West Final is about where we thought it'd be after 20 minutes.
Good period.
Dead even. This is a pick'em series. This is a pick'em opener. And it's Edmonton-Dallas, 2 veteran clubs who know how to win at this time of year. Draisaitl for the Oilers, Sagan for the Stars. It's all even after 20 minutes. When we come back, it's Brendan Escott. It's Rob Brown back at our flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network. It's 880 CHED. Live from the American Airlines Center, 18,000 plus crammed into this cavernous building to see these 2 heavyweights go at it. 1-1 after 1 on the Oilers Radio Network.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
It's our YEG with 880 CHED.
Step into the mesmerizing world of the Royal Canadian International Circus, June 5th through the 15th at West Edmonton Mall. Plus, enter at 880ched.com for your chance to run away to the circus for a day with a show-stopping prize pack. Then take a stroll through Rundle Park on June 14th to support Walk Together for ALS. Donate and register today at alsab.ca/Walk Together for ALS.
For details on these and more events, visit 880ched.com. At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Now it's Draisaitl hovering top of the right circle and now forced up top near the blue line. Held in by Draisaitl. McDavid off balance, nearly fell. Got it to Nurse. Draisaitl back on the puck. He'll take it hard to the net and score! Leon Draisaitl with a wrist shot just inside the left goal post. And Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead in Game 1 of the West Final.
That is the Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. And yeah, that was a spectacular start to the period. I thought overall, Jack described it best. It's kind of a pick'em coming into the series, and not a lot, Rob Brown, separating these 2 teams on the scoreboard or otherwise after 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I thought the Oilers had a good start to the game. I thought they carried the play in the first 10 minutes. Very good in offensive zone time, controlling the play. You saw the high cycles they were doing. And when you high cycle, you pull defenders out high. And that opens up seams. That opens up space. So when Leon Draisaitl got the high cycle from Darnell Nurse, he's got time to pick up speed. And he did. And he picked up speed, beat Wyatt Johnson to the net, and he scored. So the Oilers were very good early, and they scored the big goal. Ottinger made a couple other big saves, stopped McDavid a couple times. But then there was the mistake, and that's the one thing that the Dallas Stars can feast on is, as we've talked about, their transition game. The mistake at the blue line, Draisaitl loses control, Wallman too wide. You had Klingberg standing still, and all of a sudden a guy that scores goals for a living gets a breakaway. And then Dallas started playing better. So it's going to be a close series. The Dallas Stars have a goaltender that cleans up mistakes, and he did in the first period. And then the Edmonton Oilers made the big one, and that allowed the Dallas Stars to get back in this hockey game.
Yeah, disappointing to see Klingberg tumble like that, but lots of runway left in the game, of course. Overall, as you say, I thought Edmonton handled things really well in terms of all the questions that I was asking anyway, coming into this opening frame. What was it going to look like having 7 days off? I certainly didn't see much, if any, rust, Rob.
Well, no, and it's the Final Four. Again, we talked about it before the game. It's different coming back from a Christmas break, an All-Star game break, something like that. You're playing game 20, 40, 60 of a regular season. You know, the focus isn't the same as it is when you're in the semifinals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I don't think there was going to be any sort of letdown for the Oilers, and they came out with jump. They were ready for this. When you practice for 7 days, you cannot wait to get into a hockey game because you're sick and tired of playing against your teammates. You want to find an opposition player that you can hit. You want to find an opposition player that you can shoot on. You want a battle that's against someone that you don't like, not against someone that you do. And the Oilers found that, and they had a lot of jump early in this game. Ottinger made a couple saves to keep it a one-goal hockey game. And the Dallas Stars, if they're within one, they've got a number of players on this team, and they talked about it before, guys that have scored 20 goals this season or guys that have scored throughout their career. If it's a one-goal game, they have guys that can make you pay when you make a mistake. The Oilers made the mistake, Dallas scored, and all of a sudden, there was some life with the Dallas Stars in the final 7-8 minutes of that period.
Shots on goal 12-9. I guess we'll call that the unofficial total. Jack mentioned on the broadcast it was kind of in flux in-house, but 12-9 for the Oilers out of the gate. Hits all evened up at 12. The power play opportunity for Dallas didn't really get much going. What did you think about Edmonton's penalty killing effort there, Rob?
Very aggressive. Good job standing up at the blue line. It's one of I have a hard time with teams trying to come across the Oilers' blue line on their power play and make that little dink pass out to the side. It doesn't work. The Oilers are too good at that. You have to come and you got to dump the puck behind the defenseman and chase it down. Dallas should know that because they were 0-4 last year in the playoffs against the Edmonton Oilers. They couldn't get the puck in. It's hard to create any offense when you're spending your whole time coming up through the neutral zone. So the Oilers did a really good job. And the two best opportunities on the Dallas Star power play were by the Edmonton Oilers. They had a partial break, and then they had a 2-on-1. The one thing you want to see, Brendan, is when you have a 2-on-1 and you are a third, fourth line player, shoot the puck. And on that 2-on-1, Anton Lindell, he's played the pass. He was allowing Connor Brown to shoot. He said, okay, go ahead, shoot. I'm going to stand over here. You have all the time in the world. I trust my goalie. And Connor Brown passed up an opportunity. He's coming in. He had all the time in the world. That's when you want to rethink. And if you have a chance to put a puck on net against Ottinger, bury it. If there's a rebound, you got a guy, I believe it was Janmark, going to the net. You will get your second chance, but you can't pass up grade A scoring chances. And that was a grade A scoring chance the Oilers squandered.
Among a couple that they had in the period, certainly. So when I ask you about adjustments, I mean, are there really any that need to be made here in this intermission?
Well, I think that the Oilers are really good on high cycles, and we saw that a lot. But you also have to have someone in a good defensive posture. And on the turnover, when Leon Draisaitl is coming up high, I know that Wallman is thinking, okay, I'm going to be way over here for a pass. But if there's a turnover, there's no way he's going to catch him. So I think the Oilers have got to be very careful on the high cycles, that they have somebody that if there is a turnover, we can get to. And then I guess the other one is just pucks in, get pucks on net. You have an opportunity, don't pass it up. Ottinger is too good a goaltender to go through a hockey game and turn down opportunities. That was more or less a breakaway for Connor Brown because he was allowed to go in and shoot. He turned it down. So other than that, it was a good period. I think both teams' coaches will be happy with the game was the way it was played in the first 20. 1-1 after 20, two good teams going at it, very disciplined. I think that this is what we're going to see a lot of as the series goes forward.
780-451-8800 is the number to have your thoughts heard at. Rob and I will be taking care of the post-game stuff as well as this next intermission, of course. But right now, we're all knotted up at 1 in Game 1. Edmonton and Dallas, goals coming from Draisaitl and Seguin. We're going to send it off to a global news update here. And when we get back, we'll take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73. It's Brendan Escott in for Bryn Griffiths tonight. You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 880 CHED.
All right, give me something big.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on.
Bigger.
Get a big truck and an even bigger deal.
Love it. Now the details.
Right now, lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the Black Appearance Package from $220 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 24 months with $43.75 down. That's like $110 weekly.
Now bring it home.
Plus, there's a $750 bonus for eligible Ford owners. Hurry into your Alberta Ford store or visit Ford.ca today.
Did you hear what happened to Rick while he was building his fence?
Yeah, he hit a natural gas line. They had to evacuate his entire neighborhood at dinner time, too. I bet he didn't make any new friends that day.
It cost him a ton to get the line repaired. I wonder why he didn't get his underground utilities marked.
Don't be that person. If you're digging on your property, request a locate for natural gas lines. It's free and can prevent serious injury or financial loss. And you won't upset the neighbors. Visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. A safety message brought to you by ATCO.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
This is Global News at the first intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. The city of Edmonton is encouraging housing and business developments in a number of priority growth areas with rezoning changes. The city is focusing on high demand areas for residents, which feature a lot of business activity. The city says this will streamline the process of building new developments, making it easier to build new homes and businesses. Thanks to more than $1 million in provincial funding, Stony Plain is moving forward with construction of the Brickyard Stormwater Management Facility. The new facility will provide essential stormwater storage and control capacity, allowing for more development amenities. Construction is expected to begin later on this year. And Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is in talks with the U.S. about President Donald Trump's new Golden Dome missile defense program. Carney confirms high-level discussions are underway, but he did not provide the amount Canada might contribute to the project. Trump has said the project is estimated to cost $175 billion U.S. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be at the second intermission on 880 CHED.
Hockey season is back. And so are the deals at Boston Pizza. Cheer on your team while ordering off their game day menu, or come in and see what great promotions they have going on. At Boston Pizza, they always have something craveable for you to enjoy. Boston Pizza, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Cheers to a great hockey season.
Steelhaus Triton, 2 legendary oilfield services brands, 1 powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Time now for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. It is, the only game in town tonight, of course, going on in your airwaves right now. But just taking a peek at last night, the Florida Panthers with a 5-2 win in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Game 2 set to go in Carolina tomorrow. That's a 6 o'clock puck drop. It is at the intermission. It's brought to you By end of the roll flooring centers, we've got more Edmonton Oilers hockey action. They're all knotted up at 1 down in Dallas. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer have the call next on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Legacy Heating and Cooling Jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
1-1 tie after the opening 20 minutes. Edmonton outshot Dallas 12-9 and took a 1-0 lead on Leon Draisaitl, 6th of the postseason from Nurse and McDavid. McDavid with 18 points, one behind Rantanen for the league lead in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Tyler Seguin able to come back off a Draisaitl turnover, scoring unassisted on a breakaway 5 minutes after the Draisaitl goal. And so we sit 1-1 after one with Draisaitl winning the opening faceoff. Kapanen will whack it in deep. But Colson in on the forecheck. Dallas able to recover and flip one through the middle. Kulak and Bouchard the pairing to start the second period for the Edmonton Oilers. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you high atop American Airlines Center in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The Oilers and Stars, Game 1 of this Western Conference Final. Game 2 will be Friday night from this building, and then Game 3, a Sunday matinee, 1 o'clock at Rogers Place.
Dallas' third pairing, Jack, both played basically 3 minutes or less. If they're going to play their top four that much, Edmonton has to soft chip, soft dump pucks, get in, and pound their top 4 deep.
And, of course, last year, Dallas played 5 defensemen virtually the entire postseason. And Miro Heiskanen, by the end of the Edmonton series, looked far older than the years that are actually on his body. He was playing about 30-35 minutes a night. A puck glanced off a man and out of play into the Edmonton bench. So that's an offensive zone faceoff for the Oilers. McDavid will take it between Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman. And McDavid wins that face-off. A blast by Klingberg is blocked, and the rebound by Hintz sent across to Mikhail Granlund. Into the corner for Mikko Rantanen. Been an eventful year for him. He really struggled in the regular season with Carolina and Dallas, but has found his groove in the playoffs. McDavid beats Harley down the right-hand side. Wrist shot save and a rebound. Sent off the side of the net by Nugent-Hopkins. The cage was open. Ottinger down and out after making the save on McDavid, and Nugent-Hopkins slammed it off the outside. Brandon brings it back to the Edmonton line, stood up by Wallman, recovered by McDavid, and on to Jake Wallman. And McDavid has had a couple of electrifying rushes in tonight's Game 1. Connor Brown down the left-hand side will shovel it down low. Seguin to Heiskanen, turned over. Brown to Evander Kane, fired across. Adam Henrique guides it back to Darnell Nurse. A shot from distance, caught cleanly by Ottinger, despite traffic in front generated by Brown and Kane, who at the whistle dropped Miro Heiskanen. Again, a towering presence in front of that Dallas net.
Well, Connor McDavid walked Thomas Harley, and Nugent-Hopkins couldn't quite pick up the rebound cleanly, or he would have deposited in the net, and that's just a shot off the blocker.
Well, there you go, Bob. That's what you do on a 2-on-1.
And that's what we didn't see Connor Brown do on the 2-on-1 shorty. Oilers had the one with Brown and Janmark was a clean 2-on-1. This one was a little bit, they had some backside support coming.
But we've seen McDavid completely overwhelm Lindell and Harley with that attacking speed.
And I'm telling you right now, Leon Draisaitl, he's on a different level tonight than he was at any point during the Vegas series. He is moving out there. I know he was involved in the turnover and the goal, but he's had some dominating 5-on-5 shifts in this game.
Coming off a Rockard Richard performance, his trophy case adding one more to go along with his Ross and Lindsay. And Hart, of course, wristed down deep. And Skinner puts it behind his own net. Dallas goes to work on the forecheck. Lyubushkin and Bichel up top. A long-range shot by Bichel. Turned aside by Skinner. The rebound in the corner. Kept alive for a moment, and then Stetcher took it away off to Darnell Nurse. Flipped down the right-hand side, intended for Adam Henrique. Bodied up by
Bischel, and now escaping is Lyubushkin. Hard rim up to Sagan on the right-hand side. Cross ice. Bischel skated right into it and forces it down low. Darnell Nurse, right-hand side for Stetcher, now backing off and locating Nurse with 2.5 minutes gone by in this second period. Edmonton 1, Dallas 1. Game 1 of a best of 7. The Oilers beat the Stars in 6 last year. Third trip to the West Final in the last 4 years for Edmonton. Dallas, the first team since Chicago to advance to 3 straight West Finals. And now, unable to hold the zone was Oscar Beck. Kane made sure of a clear. Dallas carries it back in. Dadonov got it in deep. Kulak attempted to clear. Janmark down in a heap. Cut his teeth in this organization. Got his start. His NHL career, his best offensive season came in Dallas. Centering pass from Beck picked off by Trent Frederick. And here come the Oilers right to left. Frederick forced out wide. He'll wind it along the boards for Evan Bouchard right in front of the Oiler bench. Slide step to his right, pushes a wrist shot wide. Rebound going to be taken by Dadonov. Lugs it up to center, tried to bump it down deep, did not get it in deep. And Draisaitl will just execute a give and go with Bouchard and take over at center. Kulak left wing to Draisaitl. A quick shot off the rush and a save made by Ottinger, who's actually played Draisaitl and McDavid fairly well, Bob, even though Draisaitl beat him cleanly.
Yep.
He's faced some good chances from those two players. Bouchard unable to handle a pass up top right point and has to back off into his own end. 4 minutes gone by. In the second period, we're still tied at 1. Draisaitl a giveaway at the Dallas line, but then got it back from Matt Duchene. Shakes off a check, challenges Harley. Harley this time plays it exceptionally well, sealing Draisaitl off the puck and allowing Johnston, playing center ice tonight, to clear for Matt Duchene. He'll dump it in. Recovered by Podkolzin, who's going to be guilty of icing here. Inexplicably tried to go to open ice down the right-hand side where Nary and Oiler was located. So the whistle goes with 4.5 having elapsed here in the second period, and it's an ozone draw for Dallas.
Well, another good opportunity for Leon as Kulak found it to him.
5-on-5. Edmonton forwards have outscored Dallas 27-17, and keep in mind the Stars have played 2 more games. That's in the playoffs. Off the draw, Rantanen back to Lindell. His shot wobbles high and wide. Rebound, Cody Ceci. Put it down low, Rantanen. Tried to center, that was deflected. And Podkolzin is able to launch it up the right-hand side. McDavid attacking. Brushed off his stick to Mikael Granlund. Wires one ahead to Mikko Rantanen. And a check levied on him by John Klingberg. Skinner again came out to play it, turned it over, and a quick shot for the left half boards. Fought off by Skinner, who had hastily recovered and pressed himself up against the far post. Rantanen knocked off balance by Nugent Hopkins, who's able to backhand it over for Wallman. His pass fired down the middle and did not get touched by Hyman, so it's icing against the Oilers. 5 1/4 gone by in the second period. We are tied at 1 at the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
This pairing I found with Wallman and Klingberg.
What have you found about it?
They have not been the smoothest pairing so far in this game.
McDavid lining up for a D-zone draw against Sam Steele. Steele won it cleanly. Back to Harley. He'll wind it along. Heiskanen trying to step up, flick it into the slot area. Sagan to Marchment, and when he tried to give it back to Harley, it was broken up. And Klingberg tried to pitchfork it out of the zone, didn't get it accomplished. Second effort, nudged it over to McDavid. He got crowded by Marchment, shrugged off the check, and then turned it over to Matt Duchene. McDavid got back in the play, and now we'll have a penalty called against Marchment, as that was a fairly obvious trip on Zach Hyman in the neutral zone. Hyman goes down, and Edmonton afforded its first power play of the hockey game. That power play, of course, brought to you by Atco.
Dallas, number 27, minor penalty for tripping.
Your trusted energy retailer. Learn more at atcoenergy.com. You heard the penalty to Marchment for a trip. Got that stick lodged in Hyman's skates, and now the Oilers who, as Bob mentioned, still looking for their first power play on the road this postseason. Well, its opportunity arrives right now. A chance to break this 0-for-14 streak. The power play without McDavid and Draisaitl down the stretch slumped to a ranking outside the top 10. But still a power play that was in the 20s. It's not a power play that struggled that mightily, finishing the season just under 24%. Lead pass, Lindell unable to hit back, but still it's a length of the ice clear for the Stars, who shorthanded have been excellent all year long. Tied for 4th in the league in the regular season, and they've been even better in the postseason at 86%, third best. Here's Draisaitl to McDavid. Inside, Nugent-Hopkins shoots and scores. Power play goal. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins restores the lead for Edmonton. It's 2-1 in game one.
Jack, at the availability yesterday, Connor McDavid, we talked about the fact the analytics would suggest the power play was better than the numbers were indicating, and he said, no, we have to be better. And there's a play, the Oilers gain zone entry, McDavid pops back. I think Perry gets a stick on it. No, it does not go to Perry. Perry will not get an assist, but Nugent-Hopkins follows the play up. Of course, he scored a couple here in game 5, as you would recall.
One of Edmonton's best games in this era, and a game that Matt Duchene kept a puck from, Bob, because he felt like Dallas was flat in that game. And he's been staring at that puck all year long, waiting for a chance at redemption. Well, his club has fallen behind 2-1. Nugent-Hopkins, his 4th of the playoffs for McDavid and Draisaitl at 6:08 on the power play. And what we tell you, small sample size. Yep. You can't get bogged down in power play numbers. Here's a turnover and a quick shot. And that was deflected just wide. Bouchard with a giveaway, and Dadonov could not thread it through traffic. Labushkin knocked it down at the point. His shot deflected high in the air, grabbed by Bouchard, who gives it away again. But this time there's support, and Darnell Nurse makes certain of a clear up to Evander Kane. And now the puck bounds out of play into about the 6th row here at American Airlines Center. 6.5 minutes have been played in the second period, and the Oilers have their second lead of game 2. It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the power play, beating Ottinger cleanly. Glove side. 2-1 Edmonton in game 1 of the West Final from Big D. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
Hockey season is back. And so are the deals at Boston Pizza. Cheer on your team while ordering off their game day menu, or come in and see what great promotions they have going on. At Boston Pizza, they always have something craveable for you to enjoy. Boston Pizza, proud partner of the Edmonton.
Where in the world are you watching from? Thanks for hanging out with us today, this morning, this evening, middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from all over the world. Now's the time of the show. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let us know your city and province in there, city and state if you're in the USA, or all over the world. Send those flag emojis out and let's see where the world is gathering from. Hanging out together, making a difference with SickKids Hospital in Toronto. Thank you for being here. Just by being here, you're making a difference. With every view, it calculates into our donation as we do a percentage every single month.
Where in the world are you watching from? Now's the time to show for you to let us know where you're watching from in that chat or by visiting our new live viewers website. Holy Mackinac! As we are passing 100,000 insiders on Toronto Sports Insider, the playoff pulse is a global force. Visit TorontoSportsInsider.com to see our live viewer map and where fans are cheering from right across the globe. While you're there, check out our awesome new website and fresh merch options. Let's keep growing this global community.
Control of this game as Edmonton has outshot Dallas by the count of 6-2 in this second period and regained the lead in the process.
Well, unfortunately for Kulak, he couldn't pick that up cleanly on the toe of his stick and had to get it over to his backhand. If he shoots that on his forehand, he opens up Jake Ottinger and gives himself a much better look.
Kulak, 2 playoff goals in 87 career games in the postseason, was on the Montreal club with Corey Perry that went to the 21 final before being beaten by Tampa. The Oilers see Dallas muster a clear out of play into the Edmonton bench following that last puck drop, so we'll do it again with Draisaitl taking the ozone draw. Recent PGA champion and 2-time Masters winner Scotty Scheffler in attendance tonight here in Dallas, Texas.
Pretty good golfer, isn't he?
He won that PGA. I mean, I stopped watching. That tournament was over. Won by 5. It could have been 8. Haskin up the gut, picked off by Jake Wallman. Up the right-hand side, Klingberg, and he'll send it back to Leon Draisaitl as the Oilers build speed through the neutral zone. Draisaitl to his left, but Colson gave it away. And now quickly swept up ice by Wyatt Johnson. That's going to be played by Stuart Skinner. Takes it into the trapezoid, and that time much smoother, getting it to Wallman up the left-hand side and spun back to center by Draisaitl. Kasperi Kapanen, the Game 5 overtime hero, put Colson ahead. Circles the Dallas net, kicks it out to Bouchard. Back down low to Draisaitl, who has a goal and an assist tonight. Bouchard loading up, shooting left circle and scoring inside the right post. It's 3-1 Edmonton. Evan Bouchard, who had 7 points in the series last year, extends the Oiler lead to 2 with his 5th of the playoffs.
Well, Kapanen told him right away, I did not get a piece of that shot. It just beat Jake Ottinger high to the glove side. Absolute rocket from Evan Bouchard. He is the 2nd highest scoring defenseman in NHL history in points per game, and he showed why. Elite finish from Evan Bouchard.
Set up by Draisaitl. 3rd point of the night for Leon Draisaitl. And the Edmonton Oilers have taken command of this game. It's now 3-1 off the draw. Puck loose at center. Lobbed in and settled by Esa Lindell. Chipped up the left-hand side, and the Oilers able to stymie the Dallas attack right there. And then Hintz got absolutely pulverized from behind by Bouchard and did not like it. Kulak entangled with Rantanen behind the Edmonton net. Rantanen hit a post in the first period, but has been quiet here in the second. McDavid the breakout to Bouchard. Gets it back. Carries hard toward the Dallas net. McDavid on his backhand. Chips it out. Shot Nurse off the post. Ottinger needed that break. Nurse beat him cleanly again to the glove side, and it whistled off the goalpost. And Edmonton by an eyelash, still in front, only 3-1. A dump in by Dallas. Nurse whipped around the boards, and ultimately Nugent Hopkins.
Wow.
Through the middle, picked off by Lyubushkin. One touch on. Here's Dadonov. Lead pass out of the reach of Oscar Beck. Nugent Hopkins, by the way, with an assist on that Bouchard goal. So you've got Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl with multiple point second periods. Brought down low, wrapped around by Dadonov, easy save by Skinner, flipped in by Nugent Hopkins, and caught and held by Jake Ottinger with 10:43 to play in this second period.
Scott Sherry broke up a possible 3-on-1 for Edmonton. He got in the way of his Nugent Hopkins stretch pass up the right side to Connor McDavid. Would have been an odd man break with time and space. Bichelle having a conversation here with Trent Frederick.
So 2 goals in 100 seconds for Edmonton has broken open game 1 of this West Final. It's 3-1 for the Oilers. Dallas coached by Pete DeBoer, who has lost 5 of the last 6 Western Conference Finals.
He gets there.
He's also been to 2 Stanley Cup Finals and lost both of those.
Generally regarded top 5 coach in the NHL, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just pointing out some facts for you.
Yep.
Broken up by Wallman. Chris Knobloch, meanwhile, 23-13 in his Oiler career, has a head coach in the Stanley Cup playoffs, including 16-2 in the back half of series. In games 1 through 3, the Oilers have been slow out of the gates. Just 7 wins and 11 defeats. But looking sharp here in game 1. Steal off a neutral zone turnover. Wrist shot off the rush. Caught cleanly by Skinner with no rebound. 10:09 to play in the second period. And the score remains 3-1 for Edmonton. For Dallas, just its 4th shot of the period at the midway point.
Mason Marchment gave it a little bit of a stick there to the Oilers' Trent Frederick. He's a agitator that blossomed into a player, and you know the story. Brad Holland no longer works for the Edmonton Oilers, but I remember him telling me about 2 weeks before Marchment popped in Florida that this guy was going to take off, and he's become a very good top 6 NHL forward. And he had a tremendous run in Florida and then got himself signed by the Stars.
22 and 23 goals his last 2 years, but just 1 in the postseason, as Dallas's offense has dried up, particularly 5-on-5 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, making their wins over Colorado and Winnipeg that much more impressive. Adam Henrique is offside, left wing on a stretch play, and they're going to bring the face-off back inside the Edmonton line, which will negate a potential break here. Now they're going to call for timeout. That was interesting. That pass was released from inside the Oiler blue line. They'll whistle it down for offside, and when we come back, the Dallas Stars will have an offensive zone face-off. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evan Bouchard have scored 1:40 apart, and Edmonton has grabbed a 3-1 lead in Game 1 of the West Final, live from Dallas, Texas, on the Oilers Radio Network.
End of the Row Flooring Centers is not only Canadian owned and operated, but we've been your go-to flooring center since 1986. The reason is simple. We make your flooring project easier. Rather than a tiny sample, upload a photo of your room at endoftheroll.com and instantly see what your dream flooring looks like in your house. Thousands of styles just clicks away. End of the Roll Flooring Centers. We've been flooring Canadians for 4 decades. Visit endoftheroll.com.
12870 St. Albert Trail and now open at 580 Parsons Road Southwest.
RS Breakers and Controls, Canada's leader in new, used, tested, and obsolete circuit breakers, MCC buckets, bus plugs, and switches. They have everything you need to maintain your aging electrical infrastructure, ensuring it operates as good as new. Their 24/7 emergency response gets you back up and running quickly, saving valuable time and money. Minimal generators or modifications needed, and like-for-like replacements mean no special inspections. Don't replace, repair your legacy equipment with RS. Visit rsbreakers.com.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Got the flavors to play, yeah. Cooking on ice. Hunger happens, gotta score a slice. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the stream. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers.
737373, Pizza 73.
Now, Bob, was that you on background vocals there?
No, it was not. But I'll tell you, in a supporting role in the last goal was Vasily Podkolzin, much like the game winner in overtime. Did a great job.
I thought he might get an assist on the play initially. And Bob's referring to the goal by Evan Bouchard that has put Edmonton out in front, 3-1, midway point of the hockey game. Game 1 of this best of 7, game 2 Friday night back here in Dallas. The Oilers in the white uniforms with a 3-1 lead. Draisaitl, a goal and 2 assists. And right now, as we speak, Draisaitl, Rantanen, and McDavid in a 3-way tie atop the Stanley Cup playoff scoring list. All 3 players now 19 points. McDavid and Draisaitl in 2 fewer games. Here's Kane. Missing Darnell Nurse. Dallas taps it back in. Rantanen tried to center off the glove of Skinner. Waved at by Draisaitl, but not out of the zone. Here's Lindell. Wrapping it around the boards, Cody Ceci steps up. Behind the net for Rantanen. Ceci wears the number 44 in Dallas. He wore 5 as a member of the Oilers.
Oilers got to support Darnell here. They got a good forecheck going.
Nurse did not get out. Rope hints from behind the net. Out to Ceci. Looks for a lane. It's not there. Kane is on him. Ceci wraps it around the boards for Rantanen. Makes a move on Kulak. Takes it behind the net. Ceci tried to slither his way down low, but couldn't get a shot away. And now Draisaitl has the puck, and he'll challenge Esa Lindell. Kapanen is with him. Draisaitl wanted to feel Lindell, absorbs the check, kicks it out to Stetcher, a drive, and that pinballed off a body in front. I believe that was Nugent Hopkins cutting in front of Jake Ottinger, but the puck stayed out. CC up to Rantanen, and he'll punch it forward back into the Oilers zone. Stetcher knows a man was bearing down on him, so he'll send it wisely around the boards to Nugent Hopkins, whose outlet pass was broken up. A big hit at center ice. Zach Hyman absolutely flattened Jason Robertson, who's been invisible thus far tonight. And the reason I say that is Robertson is Dallas' second leading scorer, and with 35 goals led the team this year. Here's McDavid barreling down the right-hand side. Harley played it well, forced it to the corner, and now you've got Sagan, who's able to shovel back towards center. Klingberg will knock it down. Woolman up the left-hand side, sends it back in. Ottinger leaves it for Hurley. Up the left-hand side, another big hit. Edmonton trying to impose some physical will against Dallas. Frederick against Jamie Benn, who won the battle for the Stars, and it's flipped back into the Oilers zone. Woolman across, and John Klingberg, who feels better every day, told me. The hips firing on all cylinders, and a puck elevated up and out of play on a stretch pass that was ticketed for the high slot. We'll have a neutral zone faceoff upcoming. 7:17 to go in the second period. Edmonton 3, Dallas 1. I have to say this, Bob. Thus far, the Oilers not only have been more physical, I think they look quicker.
I think they look quicker. I think what Hyman did on the last shift, where he got in and belted Thomas Harley, that's what Edmonton's got to do, because if they're going to play the top four as much as they're playing, the Oilers
keep pounding them.
This is a war of attrition in a playoff series.
And it paid off last year. Dallas had the early lead in that series and couldn't hold it. Edmonton fought its way back, won the final 3 games of the series, which is, as we just talked about, been a hallmark of Chris Knobloch and the Oilers in the second half of playoff series in recent vintage. Right-hand side, Lyubushkin angled one off the boards. Edmonton in its own zone, turned over by Bouchard. Sloppy giveaway, but he got bailed out by Brett Kulak. On his backhand, he'll send it up the boards. Good seal out by Draisaitl to create for Frederick, who's got Podkolzin with him. Frederick looking. Bouchard wanted to tee up a one-timer. Frederick couldn't get it to him. And off a double team, Dallas attempts to clear. Knocked down by a leaping Bouchard. Here's Draisaitl dragged to the middle, and his shot pushed just wide. Draisaitl tried to position himself for a better shot opportunity, and Dallas fortunate to duck out of that scoring chance. Icing call against Dallas. And we were at break a few minutes ago, Bob. You said the score is Edmonton 3, Dallas 1, but you confessed to me the margin could actually be significantly wider.
Well, Leon Draisaitl tonight is the best player on the ice. He has not looked this good all playoffs. That little break obviously helped him, and it's allowed the Oilers, other than one shift in this game, which Edmonton scored on, to keep McDavid and Draisaitl on different lines.
And again, Draisaitl has factored in all 3 Edmonton goals, a goal and 2 helpers. Nugent Hopkins has a goal and an assist in this second period. And Edmonton has taken command at 3-1. Oilers with a puck in the neutral zone. Darnell Nurse. Edmonton moving right to left in period 2. Wyatt Johnston battling, forcing the puck free with Dadonov. They'll bring it into the offensive zone. Robertson trying to follow it up. It's Dadonov. Off the boards, Robertson tried to backhand it in front, and that was broken up and cleared. Hyman, who cleared the puck, again takes a hard run at Thomas Harley and drilled him. Harley took the hit to make the play up to Dadonov. And now you've got Johnston, who overran the puck and paid for it dearly as Nurse smoked him. Now Johnston wanted to thunder back into Nurse, but Nurse had released the puck by then and located Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Oilers need a change here. Got to get the puck up the ice.
Smart play by Nugent-Hopkins to get it up to Corey Perry, but Perry didn't feel like he had a dump in available, so he plays it back to Brett Kulak, who dances behind his own net, and now he can break the puck out. Kulak up through center. We got a penalty coming against Dallas. Skinner's heading off here, and the Oilers already leading 3-1. Will go to a power play.
It's like an interference call, Jack. Harley cross-checked one of the Oilers up the ice. And they called him on interference. That's a tough call.
Time of the penalty, 14:49, second period. And a disgusted Thomas Harley will trudge to the box. The Oilers looking to spread game one out a bit further. It's been Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard here in the second period. Game one of the West Final. Edmonton 3, Dallas 1. Oilers power play next. This is Ford Dealers, NHL hockey, and the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in oil country, Capital Power is delivering reliable and affordable power today while building clean power systems for tomorrow, creating the balanced energy solutions communities across Alberta and North America can depend on. Visit capitalpower.com to learn how they are powering change by changing power. Be part of their energy and join Capital Power as we all cheer on our Edmonton Oilers on their quest to win it all.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Rogers is Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Tide tie things up in Tofield. Unbelievable! Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even watch Stewart steal the show while you're in Sedalia. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, proud partner and fan of your Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers looking to make it 5 consecutive wins on the road in the playoffs for the first time since 1990. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Keep in mind, Edmonton's halfway home. Long way to go. Oilers in game one with a 3-1 lead over Dallas. Draisaitl on the face-off of the power play, beaten by Sam Steele and ripped up the left-hand side by Esa Lindell. This is a power play for the Oilers. They scored on their previous opportunity in this second period. Nugent Hopkins buried one glove side on Jake Ottinger, and he's out there with McDavid, Bouchard, Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. Here's McDavid, backhander off the rush, and a save made by Ottinger, who covers up with 4:47 to go in this second period. Corey Perry has come on now to be the 5th man on this Oilers Atco power play unit, which just got its first goal on the road in 15 tries earlier in this frame.
Another good look, and Connor almost squeezed that through the 5-hole, and Jake Ottinger.
He's been buzzing.
Yeah, and Draisaitl's been terrific.
Goal and 2 assists for Draisaitl. Goal and an assist for Nugent Hopkins. 2 assists for Connor McDavid. The usual suspects at work in the opener here at the American Airlines Center. Off the draw, it squirts outside the zone. Bouchard will have to reload at his own blue line. He'll kick it back to Connor McDavid. Working his way through the neutral zone up the right-hand side. He'll leave it for Draisaitl. Top of the circle. Now McDavid from the corner. Out to Bouchard, walking the line. Gets it back from Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard on his backhand. Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard. This time across to McDavid. Top of the right circle. Feathers the one inside. And Draisaitl couldn't get the shot away. Short-handed. Comes Rope Hintz and rather conservatively elects to just dump it in the corner. 4 minutes to play, second period. Halfway through this Atco power play. Draisaitl, right to left, gains the line, drops it off. Looking for room is Corey Perry against Lindell. Fires it around the boards for Connor McDavid. Absorbs the hit from Sam Steele, but then coughs it up. And a clear by Dallas back to center. That's good work by Steele on the PK. Bouchard locates McDavid. Nudged ahead for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Steele all over. Forces it back to Bouchard. Wide open. Shooting is Draisaitl. And Ottinger might have gotten a piece of that as it flew high and wide. And then unable to be held in the zone by Nugent-Hopkins. Edmonton has to fall back. McDavid trying to catch Lindell on his back foot. Nugent-Hopkins maintain the zone from the slot. Drops it off, slipping momentarily is Wallman against Beck. Struggled to keep it alive, didn't do it. Lindell had a chance to clear it, went off Beck's backside, and then Wallman with a giveaway at the blue line. Here comes Dallas to the net, and Harley, fresh out of the box, unable to get a shot away down the right wing boards. Enrique put it up the left-hand side for Kane. Hyman finishes his check on Heiskanen. Worked up the left-hand side. Rantanen got a piece. He was not at center. They'll generously give Dallas that one. That could have been an icing call. Instead, Klingberg wrapped up in the corner. Rantanen pries it loose for Wyatt Johnston. Klingberg got it back a second time. This time, Hyman makes sure to protect the puck, kick it back to Klingberg, and the Dallas pressure is alleviated. 2.5 to go. Granlund pursuing Klingberg. Up to Evander Kane. He'll cut to his right and pitchfork it in deep. Bischel back to grab it for Dallas. Heiskanen took a healthy pop up the right-hand side. Adam Henrique able to settle it down, force it back down low. Bischel and Kane still going at it. Those two really working one another over. Bischel all over Kane. Crowd loves it. Janmark had his stick lifted, and Dallas able to punch it back through center. Darnell Nurse wristed it down deep for the Oilers as we go inside. 2 minutes to play in the second period. Edmonton has not trailed in this game and leads the opener 3-1. Marchment, a wrist shot from the top of the right circle, fielded flawlessly by Skinner, who will put it away for his 15th save of the night and keep Edmonton's 2-goal lead intact.
Draisaitl going to come out and take a D-zone draw here, help the Oilers out.
Did you enjoy that back and forth with Bischel and Kane? That's what Stanley Cup playoff hockey all about.
Bischel's a massive man. He's 6'7". Kane is a physical force and clearly at a different level, Jack, than he was a year ago at this time.
Well, he's fresh, rested, ready to go. Doesn't have the mileage on him that all these players have. Draisaitl burrowed in, won the face-off from Tyler Seguin. Oilers, Connor Brown got bottled up by Matt Duchene. Wherewithal to recover and get it to Darnell Nurse, and now Leon Draisaitl will lift it back through center. Draisaitl a goal and 2 assists tonight. Janmark took advantage of a friendly bounce, driving to the net, and tipped in front and off of Ottinger by Heiskanen, who dove desperately to break up the centering pass from Janmark. Duchene gathers and forces it inside the Edmonton line. Skinner wandered out to play it, able to nudge it away from Duchene. Brown went down in a heap in the corner, and Kulak couldn't clear. Ceci turns and delivers a pass to Harley. His shot right in front. Marchment, wrister, and that was blocked. Darnell Nurse saved a goal. Penalty coming against Edmonton. 2 minutes for hooking with 1:02 to play in the second period. But at live speed, Bob, it certainly seemed to me like Darnell Nurse might have just saved a goal.
He saved a goal, but the Oilers, both times that they've had some problems in this game, have been a result of puck possession in the O-zone or in the D-zone. Their D, and unfortunately Connor Brown wiped out in the corner, where Edmonton had an easy transition out, and now they'll have to kill. Second power play of the game for Dallas. The Oilers are 1 for 2. The Stars are 0 for 1.
Nurse sold out, robbed Tyler Seguin of what would be his second goal.
That's a tough
of the game.
That's a tough call. I mean, Kulak, sometimes you get away with that. I didn't like the call, by the way, against Harley. Didn't think that was a penalty either, just so you know.
Off the face-off, shoveled out by Adam Henrique. Penalty kill brought to you by our friends at Napa Auto Parts. And a quick change. Actually, Adam Henrique, there was some confusion. He eventually changes, and now Janmark's out there with Nugent Hopkins. Wyatt Johnston will give it up across the line. Not much of a shot from Duchene. That's because his stick exploded. The puck fluttered into the corner, and Evan Bouchard will escape with ease and clear down the right-hand side as Matt Duchene furious with his stick.
Bouchard replacing Wallman on the PKs really helped out Edmonton's penalty kill.
25 seconds to go in the second period. Right now, it's Nurse and Stetcher out there on the PK, and Stetcher comes up with a loose puck. Dallas can't get set up. Stetcher clears, and that likely will be it for the second period. We're down to 10 seconds. Harley really has to hurry. But the Stars down 3-1. Tyler Seguin trying to get a shot away. Forced out wide. Centering pass. Wound up in the pads of Stuart Skinner as Mikhail Granlund was well covered in front. We've got 1.1 seconds left in this second period. And Edmonton seemingly will head to the final 20 minutes with a 2-goal lead and a chance to win Game 1 in Dallas for the second consecutive year. Break up the Oilers all of a sudden in Game 1s, Bob. It's been a problem for the Oilers, but they're threatening to win for the 4th time in their last 7 series openers.
Need a clean face-off win for Henrique here, not give up a shot in the final second and a half this period.
Adam Henrique. Tie up with Granlund. You can score this late in the period. And Sagan set up for a one-timer in case Marchment can win this face-off cleanly. He can't. Henrique won it. And Nurse will skate out the remainder of the second period as the Oilers head to the dressing room, having played a solid second period and turning a 1-1 tie into a 3-1 lead. Nugent Hopkins with a power play goal at 6:08, and then 100 seconds later, Evan Bouchard converts his 5th of the postseason. Draisaitl's factored in all 3 Edmonton goals tonight. Nugent Hopkins with a goal and an assist. Connor McDavid has 2 apples. And most importantly, from an Edmonton perspective, the Oilers with a 3-1 lead heading to the final period, Game 1 in Dallas.
Well, we know there's going to be a push coming from Dallas, and it's going to start with the fact that they're going to have about a minute to work with on the power play. So the Oilers need an effective kill out of the break here. Dallas is giving Edmonton chances off transition, and I am with you, Jack. The Oilers look like the quicker, faster team right now. Maybe we shouldn't be that surprised. The Stars minus 73 collectively through 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Every forward has been outscored 5-on-5 in their lineup coming into this series.
So maybe we shouldn't be that, because last year, of course, it was Dallas outscoring Edmonton at even strength. The numbers again, 14-12.
Right, and then on the special teams, 5-0 for Edmonton.
And that was a big difference in the series.
Dallas has been outscored in every period. Both teams are 3-0 in overtime. The Stars have advanced to the conference final despite being outscored in every single period.
But we know this about Dallas in this building. They're going to push. I mean, Jake Ottinger's 15-2 in his last 17 games in this arena. So we know that they're going to push here in the third period.
But he has a problem when? In Game 1.
Game 1. Well, the Oilers are going to get some chances to counter-strike up by 2. That's why if you can kill the first minute, and then they got to trade chances because they're chasing by 2, you're going to get your opportunities and get a chance to finish them if you do.
Well, you just said the first minute might dictate how the rest of the period goes. Dallas will be on the power play with a fresh sheet of ice for that first minute, and the Stars will be looking to whittle the 2-goal deficit they've incurred through 40 minutes as Edmonton looks to keep it going. Remember, the Oilers arrive at this conference final having won 8 of their last 9, and in playoff competition, that really magnifies the kind of heater that Edmonton has been on. It's 3-1 Oilers through 2 periods. Next up, you'll hear from Brendan Escott and Rob Brown. 40 minutes completed at the American Airlines Center, and the Oilers looking to duplicate what they did last year, and that's pull Game 1 out of Big D. This is the West Final and Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier, like available Pro Power onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Northern Lakes College has been providing opportunities to Alberta students for over 50 years. How are they different? Many of their programs are offered online to suit your busy lifestyle, so no need to quit your job or move away from home. Your classroom can be anywhere you want it to be. Attend classes online in real time with your peers or view recorded classes at your own pace. Learn where you live. Learn while you work. It's your choice. Online learning redefined. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
The Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Kasperi Kapanen, the Game 5 overtime hero, put Colson ahead. Circles the Dallas net, kicks it out to Bouchard. Back down low to Draisaitl, who has a goal and an assist tonight. Bouchard loading up, shooting left circle and scoring inside the right post. It's 3-1 Edmonton.
Oh, yeah, he sashayed right through the defense there and ripped it. High glove did Evan Bouchard. That's the Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. Rob Brown alongside here, Brendan Escott. My goodness, what a second period by the Edmonton Oilers, Rob. A couple of goals. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets things going with their first road power play goal of the playoffs. They're now 1 for 16, but it's a pretty important one, as that was the first of 2 goals in 100 seconds. Yeah, they went back-to-back there between Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evan Bouchard. Rob, just overall thoughts on that second period there?
Much better, I think, for the Oilers than the first. I thought the Oilers started well in the first period, had a big mistake, and then Dallas, the second half of the first period, they created, and they started getting chances and having some offensive zone time. Second period was the opposite. The Oilers were the better team the entire 20 minutes. I'm trying to think of a big save that Stuart Skinner had to make in that period. I don't recall one. Dallas really didn't look dangerous at all. And the Oilers had some good looks. You go back to the Vegas series and try to remember how many times the Oilers had time and space in the slot area to score a goal. And I'm trying to think, not a whole lot. And in that second period, Nugent-Hopkins, broken play, but it ends up on his stick all the time in the world to pick a spot. Evan Bouchard, he walks in, everyone thinks one time, and then all of a sudden he looks up, like, I got nobody between me and the goalie. He walks in and picks his spot. So the Vegas series had very little ice. I mean, everything was contested. Every pass, every shot, just dumping the pucks in and out were tough. The Dallas Stars are not a physical team. They're not a big team. There's more time and space on the ice. And the Edmonton Oilers are a team that, given time and space with the skill level they have, you're asking for trouble. And in that second period, the Dallas Stars found a lot of trouble as the Oilers went shift after shift after shift where they controlled the play.
It really didn't seem like Dallas had puck possession for any sustained amount of time in Edmonton's zone. And obviously that's key to quality defense too. But I think that what I noticed most in that second period, Rob, was the physicality of Edmonton. 28 hits to 23. So it's not like a huge disparity, but it just seemed like the forecheck was relentless. Like they're putting an emphasis on investing in that department.
Yeah, this is not a physical Dallas team. And when you don't play a physical team, you don't seem to be as physical either. I think where the Oilers are, they're just quicker. And they don't have to be physical because they're winning the races to the pucks. And they're winning the races at retrieving the pucks. And they're lifting the sticks of the Dallas Stars, not giving them time and space. So when you're physical, it's usually when you're second to the puck. If you're winning the races, you don't have to be physical because you're the one making the plays. And in that period, I thought the Oilers looked very fast and created a number of really good looks. And the one thing Dallas can't do is take penalties as well. And we saw the Oilers take full advantage of their power play with Nugent-Hopkins' goal. So that was a very good second period. I think it was a lot like what we saw in the Vegas series, where you didn't give up a whole lot, and then when you had your opportunity, you took advantage of it. So through 40 minutes, the Oilers are going to be very happy with the way the 2 periods have gone.
60 seconds here. Any adjustments that you think are needed in this middle frame, or can you expect more of the same here in the third period?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of adjustments needed by the Oilers. I think there will be Dallas Stars trying to sneak in behind the defenseman. Anytime you're losing by multiple goals going into the third period, you have to, I don't know if the word's cheat, but you have to start sending plays. You have to start forcing plays. You have to get guys jumping up into the play, and that's where you create odd man breaks going the other way. So the biggest thing in this period for the Oilers is to try to score the next goal. The Dallas Stars, as long as they can stay within 2, they're capable of coming back, and we saw that with the Colorado Avalanche in the last series, Game 7. But if you can extend the lead, all of a sudden, the Dallas Stars might start looking more towards Game 2 and less at Game 1.
Great stuff, Rob. We'll talk to you post-game for a little more analysis. That's our Rob Brown here on the Oilers Radio Network. It's Brendan Escott filling in for Bryn Griffiths tonight. We are at the intermission. The Oilers holding a 3-1 lead. We'll send it off to a news update. Back with the out-of-town scoreboard.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across oil country, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make oil country a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. The city of Edmonton is making it easier to build homes and businesses in several high-demand areas by approving new rezoning changes. The city says it'll speed up development, but some councillors disagree. City Council will revisit the issue in a few weeks during a once-a-year review of the zoning bylaw. To stay ahead of a possible Canada Post strike, the city of Edmonton has sent out property tax notices early, over 430,000 of them. Most homeowners should get theirs this week, but if not, you can access your info online. Deadline to pay it is June 30th. Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is in talks with the U.S. about President Donald Trump's new Golden Dome missile defense program. Carney confirms high-level discussions are underway, but did not provide the amount Canada might contribute to the project. Trump has said that the project is estimated to cost $175 billion U.S. The U.S. president has said he'll ensure Canada contributes what he considers its fair share towards the project. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be after the game on 880 CHED.
Hey Edmonton, big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PV sent you.
Do you have tickets to an upcoming event at Rogers Place that you can't attend? Donate your tickets to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program, presented by Eagle Builders. Seats for Kids provides unused game tickets for charities, allowing children and families to enjoy hockey at Rogers Place. And for many, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a part of the Seats for Kids program presented by Eagle Builders, please email edmonton@kidsupfront.com. That's edmonton@kidsupfront.com.
Hey Edmonton, big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Nothing else doing in the NHL tonight. It's one series per night. So tomorrow we will get Game 2 of the Carolina Hurricanes Florida Panthers. Florida up 1-0 in that series after taking Game 1 yesterday. Memorial Cup starting Friday. The Medicine Hat Tigers representing the Western Hockey League. They will play Friday night against the host Rimouski Oceanic, and Toronto Blue Jays. A couple of converted touchdowns. Good on the San Diego Padres. A 14-0 victory in Major League Baseball. My goodness. They blew them out of the water, needless to say. That is the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73. As far as what we've got going on in the final 20 minutes of this game, well, I don't want to say cruise control. That's not how you go about winning this. What I love is the assertiveness that I saw in that second period by the Oilers. They outskated them, they out-hit them, and they outscored them. And yes, I would say that's a pretty solid recipe as far as winning a hockey game goes. It is third period action on deck. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer have the call up next. Brendan Escott here. We've got Rob Brown coming up in the post game, but 20 more minutes, maybe a little bit more of hockey action here on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Play Alberta has hundreds of casino games right at your fingertips. Join thousands discovering why Fortune Coin is one of Alberta's most popular games. Fill your reels with golden coins. Multiply your prizes up to 6 times and turn good spins into legendary ones. Land the Fortune Coin symbol to win cash. Trigger the jackpot. Launch the free spins bonus and watch as the dragon takes over your screen. New players get 100 free spins only on playalberta.ca. Claim your offer today. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Businesses deserve the best protection against cyber threats. Altech offers state-of-the-art IT and cybersecurity solutions to safeguard digital assets. The team of experts at Altech are dedicated to providing the highest level of security, ensuring that data remains safe and operations are seamless. With Altech, businesses can focus on growth while the rest is handled. From advanced threat detection to comprehensive data security, Altech has it covered. Choose Altech for reliable and effective cybersecurity. Visit alt-tech.ca now to learn more.
Do your tires feel like hockey pucks on the road? Perhaps it's time for a new set of Atturo tires. No matter what you drive, Atturo has the right fit for you, including the all-new Trail Blade HT and AZ810, premium all-weather tires for your pickup, car, SUV, or crossover. You can rest assured that Atturo tires will get you through all 4 seasons. Available at Action Car and Truck, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers are a perfect 3-0 when leading after 2 periods. They'll look to keep that perfect slate intact here in the Stanley Cup playoffs as they've got a 3-1 advantage heading to the final 20 minutes. They'll be shorthanded for the first 59 seconds. I must caution, those Edmonton partisans out there, however, that Dallas has just as many wins when trailing after 2 periods in the Stanley Cup playoffs as Edmonton. They've got 3. And, Bob, we know one thing about both of these clubs. We know the series isn't over until they're shaking hands.
Yeah, no, there's 100% on that. I mean, Dallas is as well run of an organization as you'll see in the National Hockey League.
And they're like Edmonton. They're desperate because they've been around it, but they haven't won it.
Now, that said, Jim Nill comes from a Detroit organization, and Ken Holland's modus operandi was you got to be around it to have a chance to win it.
And both of these teams have been around it. Oilers making their 3rd trip to the Western Conference Final in the last 4 years. Dallas 3 consecutive years. First team since the Blackhawks from 2013 to 2015 to do that in the West. Sagan wins the faceoff. He's been the only man to beat Stuart Skinner tonight. And he probably would have beaten him again were it not for Darnell Nurse in the final minute of that second period. The Oilers make a play on a dump in, and it's a length of the ice clear by Jake Wallman, killing penalties.
Killing penalties, did a great job there. Used his speed to get back and got the puck up the ice and out.
Granlund on the stretch play, left wing for Mason Marchment. Dallas moving right to left in the 3rd period. Heiskanen gets it back from Granlund. He'll shoot and score. Skinner appeared never to see it. Dallas right back in the game, a power play goal. And for Miro Heiskanen, that's his first goal since coming back. He was injured January 28th in a game against Vegas. That's his first goal since returning, his 4th game back.
I'm sorry, but Matthias Janmark has to get a piece of that puck. Otherwise, he's just a screen on the play, and that's what happened. And even the look and the read between Connor Brown and Miro, in between Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark, I think that Brown thought Heiskanen was...
Might have been tipped at the very end, Bob. Let's watch this again.
Marchment was the net front.
I think it went off an Oiler. There was a little tip.
It doesn't matter. That play has...
I know what you're saying.
Got to get a sticker.
There was a little ricochet at the very end. Lead pass, Zach Hyman, right-hand side. Might have glanced off an Oiler. Here's McDavid looking to answer. Gives it up. Backhander denied. Leon Draisaitl set up by McDavid down low, but repelled by Ottinger. Here's Mikael Granlund forcing it up ice for Mikko Rantanen. He'll leave it for Granlund behind the net. Kulak looking to seal his man off. McDavid out to Leon Draisaitl. Fires a lead pass, looking for Hyman. Too far. They're going to wave off icing, however. And the puck returned by Lindell to Cody Ceci. Drilled it up the right-hand boards, and that'll be settled back in his own end by Klingberg. He'll in turn move it up to Vander Kane. Swatted off his stick immediately. Lead pass, Jamie Benn. Granlund and Marchment, meanwhile, with the assists on the power play goal scored by Miro Heiskanen. Adam Henrique pinned in his own zone. Evander Kane forced it up the right-hand side. And now we've got a whistle, and it's an offside against Edmonton. 32 seconds time of the power play goal, and Dallas has cut it to 3-2 with an eternity to play, 18:05 left in regulation.
Worst case scenario for Edmonton there. Got to find a way to get a body in front of that. I mean, in the playoffs, everybody blocks shots, everybody fronts pucks. You got to eat some. And Heiskanen made the right play, put it to the net, but Matthias Janmark almost kind of flamingoed his way out of that, Jack. We'll see how he responds. He's on the ice right now.
Lead pass for Robertson is an errant one, and now Dallas guilty of an icing call, so Edmonton gifted an offensive zone faceoff coming up. Miro Heiskanen, a tireless performer, but again, one who hadn't scored a goal since January the 9th. He missed the final 32 games of the regular season. The entire first-round series against Colorado, which Dallas survived in 7, and then parachuted into the Winnipeg series in Game 4.
Given they didn't have Heiskanen and they didn't have Robertson, the fact that they beat Colorado is unreal. And they rallied from 2-0 down in Game 7.
In the third period.
Yeah, like Draisaitl, he almost scored. He has been all over the offense. He's just been brilliant in this hockey game.
He's playing with Podkolzin and Perry right now.
Yeah.
Off the face-off, wound around. Robertson punched it out towards center, swatted in deep by Rantanen, carried back up ice, and it's Podkolzin who dumps it in from center. Harley back together. It had his pocket picked. Excellent steal by Corey Perry. Then he gave it right back to Harley. But Podkolzin was there to free it up for Perry, who arrives in time for Podkolzin, nudged in front off the pads of Ottinger. Slap shot. Wallman hit his own man. Hit Podkolzin.
That ate him. What's the
that one bit of?
We got a penalty on Edmonton.
Yeah, it's against Edmonton. Podkolzin's hurt. He goes to the Oiler bench. Penalty on the Oilers. Robertson back to Matt Duchene. Up the right-hand side, Mason Marchment. Right wing, centering pass. Ran in a shot denied by Stuart Skinner.
What's the call
and
here?
The Oilers' 3-2 lead will be tested. It's a power play coming for the Dallas Stars, who just converted a power play to pull within 3-2. Francis Chiron will give you the call.
Edmonton, number 90, minor penalty, ice sticking.
Ice sticking against Corey Perry.
Oh, it's
right in front. He got Sam Steele.
That's
and he earned it.
Yeah, that's a world-class clear-out from Corey Perry. You're going to get called on that every time. So now a huge kill.
Dallas, like Edmonton, 1 for 2 on the power play in this game.
Got to stay out of the box. It's an ozone draw.
Sagan wins the face-off. Thomas Harley moves it back to the right half boards for Jason Robertson. Tried to turn one inside for Sagan. Intercepted by Henrique and slashed down the ice.
See how Brown and Janmark do out here together after being on the ice for that goal against on the PK.
There's Kulak. And as Bob indicated, Brown and Janmark round out the Napa Auto Parts penalty killing foursome. In from the right-hand side is Sagan. Robertson in close quarters. Sagan trying to pass back to the point, intercepted by Janmark. Maybe a late developing 3-on-2, but what a huge hit by Marchment on Connor Brown. He flattened him. Stars come thundering back up ice right to left. Robertson lugs it across the line, gives it up. Sagan a shot, and that was tipped wide. Rebound kept alive for Robertson by Marchment. Robertson hesitated. Marchment to the middle of the ice, kicked out to Heiskanen, loading up. Shooting is Granlund, and that went off the post. It was waved off. And now they're calling it a goal. The official immediately waved it off, Francis Chiron, and now they're saying this game is tied. Did you see what I did?
I thought it was a goal. Initially,
Chiron waved it off.
I saw Chiron wave it off. There was no question the official waved it off. We're going to have to get a second look at this. But the Dallas reaction on the play.
It's a goal.
You called it.
But Chiron waved it off immediately. Granlund buried it through Stuart Skinner over the left shoulder.
What do they have to do, Jack? They have to stay out of the box, and they didn't stay out of the box. Unforced error led to the power play that carried into the third period, and now we're tied in a game that Edmonton's been infinitely better 5-on-5. I was with you. I saw Chiron wave it off. I was like, wow, Edmonton caught a break. They didn't.
Granlund, his fifth power play goal for the Stars, and an offside whistled against Edmonton coming over the line following that faceoff. So back-to-back power play goals, and Edmonton's 3-1 lead erased in less than 4 minutes. We talked about the importance of a kill to start the period. The Oilers didn't get it. Perry for high sticking, and Granlund ties it. And now we've got a brand new Game 1 of the West Final.
And Granlund's a streaky scorer, as you know, Jack.
Had a hat trick to beat Winnipeg in Game 4. But coming into this game, he had only 1 goal in all the other games. Similarly, Rantanen has 17 points in 5 games, Bob, but just 2 in the other 9. Heiskanen and Sagan with the assists on the power play goal that ties the game. Off the draw, John Klingberg handling the puck in his own zone for Edmonton. At the red, he'll hit the line. Chip it looking for McDavid. That was broken up. And tossed up the left-hand side by Heiskanen. Here's Zach Hyman. breaking away from Granlund and then leaving it, turned it over, in fact. Hintz put it up on the glass. Evander Kane up to the point. Rantanen to Hintz. Slid across, redirected off a Harley from Granlund. And that rocketed out of play with 5 minutes gone by in this third period. And you said it earlier, Bob, this crowd can get engaged and involved. And the 2 goals in 4 minutes has certainly resuscitated their energy.
The Oilers were up 3-1. They blew Connor Brown in defensive support, blew a wheel in the corner. The puck hit him and they didn't get it out. Then they created the opportunity where Nurse pulled a goal out of that. Kulak took the penalty in that sequence. And they come out and Janmark does in front of puck, 3-2 power play goal, and then a bomb, a rocket from Granlund. Edmonton needs to respond, Jack.
Face-off win for Nugent Hopkins, lobbed up ice by Bouchard, and now Evander Kane tries to borrow his way inside, but that's going to be offside as well against Edmonton. And the crowd really getting on Stuart Skinner. The shots are just about even at this point. Edmonton now with just a slim 22-20 advantage. At one point in this game, it was 18-11.
Got to keep playing. Worst case scenario, Jack.
Sagan wins the face-off in the neutral zone. Angled up the left-hand side for Marchment. Bouchard was there. Ceci to Duchesne, and then flicked ahead by Marchment. That appeared to go on the Oiler bench and is whistled down with 5.5 minutes having elapsed in this third period. Heiskanen and Granlund, as again the Finnish presence can't be ignored on this Dallas Hockey Club.
Whoa.
They've loaded up the Finns on the top line, and Heiskanen with a goal and an assist in this third period.
Problem is they got another Finn and he hasn't factored yet, and he's gonna.
Mikko Rantanen does not have a point in tonight's game. We told you he gets hot, and when he gets hot, you can see absolute magic happen. A natural hat trick to put away Colorado in Game 7. Here's Cody Ceci. In from the right-hand side, he'll wind it along for Harley. Put it back down low. You've got Sagan. Tried to chip it in front. Duchesne got a high stick by Kane.
This is unreal.
Another careless stick infraction by Edmonton. Duchesne threw his head back and got the call. 3 consecutive power plays for Dallas, and 2 of which have been converted.
And now, is it a 2 or 4, Jack? Here's the call.
Edmonton, number 91, minor penalty for high sticking.
Just a 2. Stars fans on their feet, crowd in a frenzy as Edmonton's 2-goal lead gone. And again, I mean, it's right in front of the official. There's not much to argue about.
Stay out of the box.
So the Oilers send out Nugent Hopkins, Henrique, Nurse, and Stetcher to kill this one. It's brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. But Dallas has converted the last 2. We told you they've had a goal in all 8 home games on the power play this postseason.
They need to stop here from Skinner.
Heiskanen to Duchesne. Back to Heiskanen. One-timer, and that was fought off by Skinner. Oh, Duchesne hit his own man and then scored! Matt Duchesne's first goal of the playoffs gives Dallas its first lead of Game 1, 4-3. 3 consecutive power play goals for the Stars in a span of less than 6 minutes. Matt Duchesne coming into this game had scored exactly 2 goals in 32 games in the postseason as a member of the Dallas Stars. And that one, Bob, he hit his own man, Rope Hintz, with Skinner down and out.
I mean, he should have scored on the first shot, and then did it get a piece of Nugent Hopkins, who was low in support after Stetcher fell. Oh, man. Well, we said they needed a kill. They didn't get it. Oilers are going to have to dig in now. It's an unbelievable turn of events.
Edmonton's 3-1 lead has evaporated. Dallas has its first lead of the hockey game. Stars with a puck. Jason Robertson off the draw will shovel it in off the backhand side. Brett Kulak looking left wing for Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl tried to force it up to McDavid. It was broken up. Toss tossed inadvertently out of play by Sam Steele. The faceoff will remain in the Edmonton zone with 13:37 to go in the third. It's a crescendo here inside American Airlines Center. Stuart Skinner being serenaded, and not from a positive standpoint if you're an Edmonton fan. The Oilers' 3-1 lead is gone. Dallas, with 3 consecutive power play goals, has a 4-3 advantage in Game 1 of the West Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Got the flavors to play, yeah. Cooking on ice. Hunger happens, gotta score a slice. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the stream. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers. 737373, Pizza 73.
Steelhaus Triton, 2 legendary oilfield services brands, 1 powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
4-3, Garth Brooks reverberating throughout American Airlines Center as the Stars fans in a celebratory mood. But just as we told you at the onset of the period when Edmonton led 3-1, there's a lot of time left, 13 and a half to go. Dallas erases the Oiler lead in a span of 5 minutes and 26 seconds. All 3 goals on the power play. Evander Kane into the offensive zone left wing. His shot deflected up over top. It looks like they're going to go McDavid, Draisaitl the rest of the way, Bob. Kane is with Nugent Hopkins on this line. And it's forced out by Dadonov. So right now you've got Nugent Hopkins centering Kane and Hyman. And usually when we see that look, we know McDavid and Draisaitl are going to get a 5-on-5 shift together. And trailing in the third period, Chris Knobloch may go that route for the remainder. The Stars up the right-hand side, settled by Wollman. Advanced through to Zach Hyman. Draisaitl with a goal and 2 assists, helping Edmonton gain a 3-1 lead. Klingberg with a giveaway. Marchment up the right-hand side. Sagan gives way to Duchesne, heading for the net. Duchesne unable to get a shot away. Then threw it in front. Open man. Sagan fires, and that was fought off by Skinner. Rebound Sagan again. Trying to hunt down a puck, but Hyman won a puck battle, and here we go. McDavid and Draisaitl in from the right-hand side. Well defended. Lindell on McDavid. Duchesne the other way. Shot Marchment, and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Rebound Ceci. Dallas feeling it right now. Klingberg to Wollman. The Oilers have to weather the storm a little bit here. Perry, as power play is rolled over to momentum 5-on-5. Perry reunited with McDavid and Draisaitl on a heart line. Lead pass, you've got Lindell. Looking left side, Rope hints. Wrist shot forced wide by Bouchard. Corey Perry on the puck finds Evan Bouchard. Lead pass on target. Connor McDavid looking to tie it up against Bischel, and he slid one wide. Rebound. Draisaitl showing shot. 2 Stars collapse on him. Out to Darnell Nurse. Evan Bouchard back to Draisaitl. Couldn't get around Heiskanen. Brilliant defensive play. Heiskanen muscling Draisaitl off the puck. Hits Bischel ahead of the field. Open man. Oh, it's off the stick, and then Bischel denied on the doorstep by Stuart Skinner. A broken play, and Bischel wound up with a puck 10 feet in front of Stuart Skinner. Hintz sealed by Draisaitl. Nurse blasted by Bischel. McDavid at the end of his shift. Lead pass. He finds Kasperi Kapanen in on net. Kapanen spins, backhands one wide. Bouchard has drawn a penalty. Call will be whistled against Bischel. minutes to go. The play in the meantime continues. Lead pass Skinner, up to Kapanen, curled back to the point by Janmark. Bouchard across. Kulak to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, steps up from the right circle, kicks it back. Kulak across. Bouchard looking for a shot lane. It's not there. Kapanen. This is all a delayed penalty right now. Kapanen to Bouchard. Shot tipped just wide. Rebound Kapanen. Back to the point. Podkolzin will let it go through to Kulak. To Bouchard and poke free, but kept alive. A shot! Lines up just wide of Jake Ottinger. Glove side. Rebound Nugent-Hopkins. Twists it back to Bouchard. 10:20 remaining. This power play has been in effect now 6-on-5 for almost a minute. Podkolzin. Nugent-Hopkins. Kulak. Shot off a man. Swatted out of midair by Kapanen and on net, and a save made by Jake Ottinger. And now we'll have the whistle. Finally, the Oilers 6-on-5 there for a full minute, with a penalty going against Bischel. And after that extended minute of defending 6-on-5, the Stars will now be 5-on-4. Hooking Bischel, and the Oilers 1 for 2 on the power play can tie it up right here.
Don't forget, Jack, Edmonton had a 3-1 lead and got a power play and did not score. And the way it's going right now, Edmonton has to score on the power play. Because right now it doesn't look like Edmonton can stop Dallas when they get their power play opportunities. Stars have flipped the script here in the third period. They're 3 for 4 in the game. They're 3 for 3 in this period on the power play. Edmonton needs equalizer right here, right now.
Stars on the kill. We told you coming in. Bettered only by Carolina and Florida thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But they were touched for a goal earlier in this hockey game. Scored by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who's out there with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman, the net front presence, replacing Perry. Bouchard at the point. 10:06 to play in the third period. The Oilers' 3-1 lead has given way to a 4-3 deficit.
Steele's done a good job to start these PKs for Dallas against Draisaitl.
Face off to Ottinger's right. Tie up off the draw. Lindell comes up with a puck, and it's the length of the ice clear. You called it, partner. Sam Steele borrowing in on Leon Draisaitl. The Oilers have to retreat. Bouchard, pressure up ice from Oscar Beck. Dallas, a penalty kill unit that resembles LA's. Here's McDavid and Draisaitl trading it on the right-hand side. Saucer back down low to McDavid. Now Bouchard up top in the high slot. McDavid rolls up top of the circles. Around Beck. Looking, dealing. And that went off the skate of Sam Steele. Now it's McDavid. Backhanding it down low for Hyman. Using a screen from Draisaitl, who returns the puck back to Bouchard at the point. Over to McDavid. Stutter step on Steele. Puck comes free. Ceci off the glass. Did not get it out. It went out of play, and Ceci's inability to get it down on the ice gives Edmonton new life in an offensive zone faceoff, as Perry will replace Hyman here with still 1:11 to go on the Atco power play. Atco, your trusted energy retailer.
Wyatt Johnston comes in to take the draw. In the playoffs, he's at 48%. This is a Leon advantage, you would think.
It came off the side of the net following the draw. Hard rim by Lindell, and that escaped Bouchard. And the Oilers forced into full retreat halfway through the power play. Still 9 minutes left in regulation. Dallas 4, Edmonton 3. This is game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Game 2 looming Friday night back in this building, the American Airlines Center. 18,500 plus. Here's Nugent-Hopkins guiding one over to Leon Draisaitl. Offensive zone right half boards. Nugent-Hopkins to Bouchard, walking the line. McDavid left circle in front, looking for Perry, broken up by Ceci. But McDavid able to recover, then turned it over. And Wyatt Johnston will rifle it down. And that'll do it for Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, and Draisaitl. They head to the bench. Still 20 seconds on the power play. Skinner got confused and threw it into the corner. Steele able to pester and drain more time off the clock. Adam Henrique finally able to recover. Get it ahead for Evander Kane. 10 seconds on the power play. Corey Perry gave it back to Kane to the middle of the ice. Henrique drops it off. Shot Klingberg, and that was blocked. Rebound Beck off the boards and out. Dallas has killed it off. Back to 5-on-5. Klingberg dances around Jamie Benn. He'll hit the line. Wrist shot. Fought off by goaltender Jake Ottinger. That one appeared to handcuff him him a bit.
That was a good shot by Klingberg. Boy, he put that one in a real good spot. Look out.
Klingberg rink wide, and that was tipped over the plexi and out of play into about the 6th row here. And unfortunately, I think caught a fan who will try to shake that one off. Luckily, it was tipped and took some of the steam off that puck. 7:45 to go in the 3rd period. Edmonton's 3-1 lead is given way to a 4-3 deficit. The Stars trying to close it out on home ice. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and Game 1 of the West Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get paid to stay with Edmonton's best hotels. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in gas, meal, or cash cards. There's over 52 hotels to choose from. Edmonton's best hotels. Get paid to stay.
If you've got educational goals, Portage College is ready to provide the assist. Portage.
Where in the world are you watching from? Thanks for hanging out with us today, this morning, this evening, middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from all over the world. Now's the time of the show. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let us know your city and province in there, city and state if you're in the USA, or all over the world. Send those flag emojis out and let's see where the world is gathering from. Hanging out together, making a difference with SickKids Hospital in Toronto. Thank you for being here. Just by being here, you're making a difference. With every view, it calculates into our donation as we do a percentage every single month.
Where in the world are you watching from? Now's the time to show for you to let us know where you're watching from in that chat or by visiting our new live viewers website. Holy Mackinac! As we are passing 100,000 insiders on Toronto Sports Insider, the playoff pulse is a global force. Visit TorontoSportsInsider.com to see our live viewer map and where fans are cheering from right across the globe. While you're there, check out our awesome new website and fresh merch options. Let's keep growing this global community.
Some chances to extend its lead at 3-1. Failed to do it, and then Dallas ran off 3 unanswered power play goals here to begin the 3rd period. And Edmonton's lead not only was gone, but gave way to a deficit inside of 6 minutes. Off the draw in the neutral zone, Ceci up the right-hand side. Marchment's offside, and he'll chest up with Darnell Nurse, and they two will jaw at one another. 7:39 to go in the 3rd. No quarter given in that altercation between Marchment and Nurse. 4-3 Dallas, the go-ahead goal scored by Matt Duchene, his first of the entire postseason. Talked this morning about how he felt like he was playing good hockey, not getting rewarded for it. He shot one off the backside of his teammate Rope Hintz. It came back to him, and he was able to muscle home the go-ahead goal.
Well, Dallas got to another gear on their power play, but Edmonton aided it and abetted them, Jack. There's no other way to say it.
Duchene up the right-hand side. Couple of careless high-sticking infractions, and now nudged into the Edmonton zone. You've got Sagan against Podkolzin. Marchment in close quarters. Back to Sagan, operating behind the Edmonton net. Centering pass, and that's split. Duchene and Thomas Harlett. Jake Ottinger out to handle the puck. Gives way to Harlett. Dallas looking to break a 7-game losing streak in home openers in the postseason. Here's Skinner. Ooh. Off a dump and handling that puck, and Duchene was close by. Shoveled it freely to Darnell Nurse. Tried to get it in deep. Knocked down by Heiskanen, who effortlessly clears up the right-hand side. Kapanen rink wide to Bouchard. Hit McDavid square in the shin pad. And now you've got Rantanen coming the other way. Has just the 1 assist tonight and fumbled the puck away in the corner. They call him the Moose. Lead pass McDavid. Out there with Draisaitl and Hyman. Chris Knobloch going to McDavid and Draisaitl together 5-on-5 with a team trailing. Here's Hyman walking in. Left circle, a shot and a save made by Ottinger. Rebound Lindell. Flipped it off the glass. Well handled by Wallman at the line. McDavid. One-timer. Draisaitl save made by Ottinger. Ottinger. And Edmonton's top line has Dallas in desperate trouble. Hintz will pin McDavid against the half boards. Booted free for Wallman. A shot that was tipped harmlessly into the corner. Dallas first to locate. It's Heiskanen. And Rantanen jams it off the boards and back inside the Edmonton line.
Hintz got away with working over McDavid. Back in the neutral ice.
A draining shift for both clubs. The Oilers appear exhausted as they change with 5:45 to go in the third period. 4-3 Dallas. Here's Connor Brown darting down the left-hand side. CC back defensively. Brown tried to put it between his legs. Wasn't happening. Jamie Benn 3-on-2 with Johnston. Right circle, wrist shot, missed the net. Rebound came wide. Dodonov held the zone for now. Johnston and Ben pouring it on in the offensive zone. Nugent Hopkins played it well, got it to Stetcher, and here come the Oilers. Evander Kane left wing. Stetcher activating on the play down the middle. Created an opportunity and a backhander lifted high and wide by Brown. That was all Stetcher. And now Nurse. Stetcher calling for the puck. Feeling it maybe. A shot along the ice. Steered to the corner by Ottinger. And Edmonton's second line turning on the momentum. Kane in front. Tipped away at the last moment from Nugent Hopkins. Then tried a sharp angle shot that was broken up by Ceci. Ben is tired. Got it to Wyatt Johnston. A soft wedge inside the Oiler blue line. Stetcher able to catch up to it. Oilers will roll over the lines, though. Bob, that's two good shifts in a row. We'll see whether Dallas is drained a bit here. Here's Kulak. Smooth skating up the right-hand side for Corey Perry. Hard behind the net. Dishes off. Poked away for a moment. Now wide open Frederick, and he flubbed it off the heel of his stick. He was wide open in the slot, and Dallas gets away with one. Lead pass too far for Steele. That's icing against Dallas with 4:18 to go in the third period, and that means an offensive zone draw for Edmonton's top players as McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman come over the ice. Bob, if this top unit scores here, it'll be because of the momentum that they started, but then was backed up with two good shifts in a row.
What a chance for Trent Frederick, and he just couldn't pick it up cleanly. High slot, and he fanned on it. You wonder maybe if he hadn't been out for so long with that high ankle sprain, if he's feeling a little bit more offensively.
Draisaitl against Steele. And let's see here. It's going to stay with Steele and Draisaitl. Face off to Ottinger's right, 4:18 to go. Steele again does a good job on the draw, Bob. You picked up on that, and you're bang on. Steele with another good work on the face-off circle. Robertson at center had it pried loose by Hyman, but well played at the line by Lindell. And here come the Stars. Steele with Sagan heading for the net. Steele, backhander, score! 5-3. Sam Steele, a massive goal in Winnipeg in Game 6. And let's see whether Sagan got a piece of this.
So Sam Steele's represented by Jerry Johansson, and he was fighting to get this guy a job a couple years ago, and all he's done is earn himself a new contract with Dallas. He's in the 3-hole at center. I mean, he had a huge season in junior. Always had some offensive instincts. That's just a great goal.
I think Sagan got a piece. I think Sagan tips this one in, Bob. What do you think?
Bouchard, he might have. You're judging by Sagan's reaction, I'm probably going to lean your way on that one and think he got a piece of it deflected at home. Certainly looks like that's the case. What a play by Steele. Jack, and it starts with the O-zone or D-zone face-off win. Dallas a 4-goal third here.
And a 5-3 lead. There's still ample time remaining, and now off the draw, the Stars look for more. And it was flipped over the net by Marchment. Down the right-hand side, Sagan to Marchment. Across the CC. His shot tipped, deflected up and out of play. We should mention Calvin Pickard is not on the trip.
Right.
He will not be available until the back half of this series, so Olivier Rodrigue is backing up. Sam Steele cutting to the net, and Tyler Sagan with a heck of a tip over the left shoulder of Stuart Skinner to make sure Dallas takes a 5-3 lead. 3:41 to play. We'll come back to American Airlines with a finish of Game 1 on the Oilers Radio Network.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Coming into this Western Conference final, the Edmonton Oilers had outscored their opposition 14-4 in the last 8 games in the third period. Not tonight. Stars have outscored the Oilers 4-0, and they've turned a 3-1 deficit into a 5-3 lead. We'll keep an eye on Stuart Skinner. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman are out there. It's McDavid pouring across the line. Skinner to the bench. McDavid flips it over to Draisaitl. The extra attacker is Corey Perry. Dallas pressure on the puck against Draisaitl, forcing it free. Long wrist shot. Bullseye. Esa Lindell.
That's how it goes some night, Jacks. That's just how it goes. Oilers hit 2 posts in a game. They hit a post at 3-1. Darnell Nurse hits a post and they don't score on the ensuing power play they get. And Dallas has completely flipped this game with 5 unanswered goals in the third period.
Lindell's first of the postseason is a 165-foot empty netter at 16:45. And the Stars, those 5 unanswered goals have come in 16 minutes.
Think of the chance that Frederick had, high slot, 4-3 game before the power play that Edmonton got.
Adam Henrique wins the faceoff out there with Podkolzin and Frederick. Oilers dump it in. Podkolzin finishes his check. Skinner remains in the pipes. Dallas cleared up the right-hand side. They're waving off icing emphatically, so Skinner forced to play it. Locates Troy Stecher. 2 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the hockey game. Ceci off a dump-in. Will backhand it over to Thomas Harley. The Stars trailed 3-1 entering the third period. They were on a power play to start the third. They scored, and that triggered an absolute outburst. 3 goals in less than 6 minutes, and then 2 more inside of a minute to put it away. Here's Dodonov wheeling his way into the offensive zone. Tried to center, deflected. Steele to Lyubushkin. His shot. And a save made by Stuart Skinner. The rebound cleared by Adam Henrique. Connor Brown up the left-hand side. Kane was pounded. Into the corner. Centering pass in front for Kane. Set up by Brown. Broken up by Marchment. And Dallas able to angle one up the right-hand side. Kane touched the puck before the Oilers tag back up and will be whistled for an offside with 2:04 to go in this hockey game. 6-3, a stunning turnaround for an Edmonton club that not only had been on a roll in terms of winning 8 of 9, but had dominated the back half of games, Bob.
Jack, we said at the end of the second period they had to get out of the PK to start the third. They didn't.
And a lot of the talk coming in to this series was about special teams, but more focused on the Edmonton power play. Yeah. Instead, it's the penalty kill. Look at the power plays in this game. The Oilers 1 of 3. That's fine. But the penalty kill is only 1 of 4. That's not fine. Jake Wallman enters the zone left wing, hits Klingberg, backdoor play, broken up, and Bischel able to twist it safely back through the neutral zone. If the Oilers scored there, they would have gone right back to McDavid and Draisaitl with 90 seconds to go and maybe pull Stuart Skinner, but now Skinner stays in there. Lead pass left wing. It's the Janmark centering pass. That goes awry. Picked up by Robertson, who got an assist earlier in this period for just his second point in 7 games since coming back from injury. Stetcher backing his way in is Trent Frederick. And it's wedged back the other way by Lindell.
Why is that not icing? It's not.
I think it would have died before the goal line.
They're just trying to get this game over with right now.
There's 50 seconds. Troy Stetcher fired one up the middle, broken up by Beck, taken by Steele. He'll try to skate his way out of danger. Turned over. Kapanen right wing shot off the pads of Ottinger. Rebound Beck. Chesting up against Nurse with 30 seconds to play. Dallas looking for one potential final clear here, and then the clock will kind of run off as Nurse will shoot it in. Ottinger out to handle the puck, threw a grenade to Lyubushkin. His shot ends up on Henrique's stick, flipped one wide, rebound wound around to Stetcher, back to Nurse, left point shot, missed the net, high up on the plexi, cleared by Steele, and that'll be all. Beck hit one more time by Stetcher. They didn't like it, and this one ready to explode. Lyubushkin did not like that extra hit, and now you've got a wrestling match. No meaningful blows exchanged. That was Lyubushkin sticking up for what he felt was a late hit by Stetcher. Beck and Stetcher are wrapped up on the ice. Lyubushkin quickly separated by Podkolzin. Nurse was briefly engaged. The streamers have come down.
They win the Stanley Cup.
Bischel and Perry, meantime, were wrapped up with one another. And
hey, they won a game 1.
Yes, exactly. We saw what happened when LA posed following a game 1 victory in the first round for a group photo. The streamers come down. The Stars could celebrate a game 1 victory, which is something they could not do last year. Edmonton won that game 1 in overtime. Tonight, the Oilers appeared poised for victory, but Dallas with 5 unanswered goals in the third period, and the Stars will take a 1-0 lead in this best of 7 with game 2 Friday night back here at the American Airlines
Edmonton
Center.
needs more for more. I mean, this was the night where their big dogs were going, McDavid and Draisaitl, and that's what's disappointing. They got him to a 3-1 lead, and Leon was the best player in the ice through the first 2 periods. Got to get a kill. Who has to be your best penalty killer?
Goaltender.
Your goaltender, who was very good in the 2 previous games. Now, on the second goal of the game, the first Dallas power play goal of the third period, I think Janmark's got to front the puck there. He doesn't get in front of it, and Stuart Skinner couldn't track it and find it. Way too easy of a goal. Then the 3-3 goal, a rip job. Wallman is there. The only place that they can beat Wallman is up high, and it was a rocket from Granlund. Now it's a 3-3 game. The 4-3 power play, it's just everything started getting funneled to the net, and the Oilers couldn't do anything about it. And Nugent Hopkins, unfortunately, down. The Oilers caught a break. Duchesne hit one of the Dallas players in the back of his ass, and then they turn around and bank it in off of Nugent Hopkins. And
Can you say in the back of his ass? Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yeah. Well, in my case, it's a bass. So anyways, that's when your back runs into your ass. And now they're up 4-3, right? Their power play's cooking. It's 3 for 4, and they completely flipped the momentum in this hockey game. The Edmonton Oilers squandered the opening game of this series.
Yeah, you don't like to give that one
You
up.
don't like... Now, they didn't get a lot from some of their other players. This has been... Now we're going to go back to Edmonton having an older team. Some of their older guys were a little quiet out of the gate here. They weren't. They needed more from Janmark and Brown. Okay, and I know Connor Brown's been dealing with a minor lower body issue. They needed more from Janmark and Brown. They were on the ice for 2 of the 3 goals, at least on the PK. They needed more from those guys. They didn't get, Henrique did a good job on some face-offs, but they lost a draw that led to the 4th goal, the 3rd power play goal. Boom, it's in the net. Edmonton had a lot go wrong in this hockey game in the 3rd period. We're going to remember this one for a long time. Now, the question is...
You only remember it if you lose the series.
Right. You can bounce back, but there's a lesson in this. Think of the penalties. It's a 3-1 game.
Yeah, high sticking. You got to control your own stick.
Connor Brown blows a wheel in the defensive. The Oilers have puck possession. They're trying to complete a line change. Brown blows a wheel. Now Edmonton's under duress. They get a scoring chance out of it. They get bailed out by a great shot block from Nurse, but Kulak's got to take a penalty. Okay, that puts them on the power play. The Oilers get out of period 3-1, but they can't kill at the start. Then the Perry penalty cannot happen. Cannot happen in a 3-2 game when you're on the lead. Not 185 feet away from the goal. Cannot happen. I didn't like the stuff at the end of the game. I'm fine with that. That's all gamesmanship and everything. But the Oilers squandered this game, and it has to be a learning lesson for Edmonton.
Well, again, you look at the special teams tonight. Edmonton 1 of 3, Dallas 3 for 4. Without the empty netter, it's a 2-goal game. It was decided by special teams
100%.
tonight.
100%. And they
not in the way that a lot of people